Hey, good morning, everybody. How's it going? I am Ian Douglas. I'm the author of this website, techinterview.guide, and I'm just here hanging out for the day. And thought I'd do a short little stream today. Well, maybe not short. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where the conversation takes us today. But hello to everybody in chat. Good to see you. Got all kinds of folks. Got Pink and Red here. Need more coffee. Got Tech Dinosaur here. Awesome to have all of you here. So hello, hello. Let me start the giveaway since I know some of you are here for the dragons, which is totally all right. So you can go ahead and do exclamation point dragon or bang dragon and get in that giveaway. And if you want additional opportunity, you can join my email mailing list. This giveaway is going to wrap up on Tuesday. Tuesday is the last day of the month, so I am going to stream Tuesday night. Let me go check my schedule Tuesday night. Let's see what time I'm going to stream. I'm probably going to stream between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Mountain Time. I've got some mock interviews either side of that, provided they show up. So I'm going to stream on the last day of the month. That'll be our last day to raise some money for this fundraiser. And so yeah, I appreciate any donations, any subscriptions, and so on that come in by then. All of that's going to count. Hey, Bets, good to see you. So Bets has a dragon on the way. I'm excited to see all of you receiving your dragons and getting pictures online of those. It'd be super great. Andy GMB, good to see you as well. I asked a couple of weeks ago about sites for comparing market rates of salaries for my move from contractor to full time. Got your full time employment contract signed and a very good offer. That's amazing. All right. That's great. Good for you. Good for you for sticking with it and negotiating and knowing your value. That's what this whole thing is about. Is understanding like what's your value and show them that value and get what you're worth. That's totally what this is about. That just made my day. That's great. Like I almost got goosebumps from reading that. That's fantastic. That was great. I also relayed a story to a friend the other day about how you know I was tutoring somebody. They were actually a student of mine, but I continued mentoring them, and they went and got a Fang job, and they came back in and they dropped 150 gift subs on us. And they're like, "Yeah, I make Fang money now." It's like, "Oh, how nice that you can just like casually give out 150 gift subs like that." But we really, really appreciate G Who is Jay for doing that for us because that really helps the community come in. I know that there's a bit of a pre-roll ad when you first try to join my channel if you're not a subscriber, and G Who is Jay just like lifted that barrier for a bunch of people. But that's also why I have a really long intro song as well. So whether it's the Game of Thrones, like the Metal Game of Thrones song, which I'm going to change back probably to my regular tune in June. Um, I still have like a 4 or 5 minute intro song just so people can get past the ad and listen to some fun music or something for a minute before I actually go live. So if you're not a follower, please go ahead and give me a follow, and it'll help at least notify you when I go live so that you can start playing that first ad. I have all the other ads shut off. So if you are logged into Twitch to watch this, then you shouldn't see any ads. If you're watching this on YouTube later on, please like and subscribe. I want to build up my followers on YouTube a little bit more. I'm debating trying to go live on both Twitch and YouTube. I haven't gone live on YouTube in the past, but I may give that a shot sometime just to see if I can increase some viewership over there. Um, I don't I don't stream to make money, and so I don't monetize what I do with ads and so on. But YouTube does unlock some additional things like being able to donate and stuff through YouTube once I hit 1,000 followers, and I'm somewhere around the 700 mark. So I would like to increase that over on YouTube if possible. So if you know anybody that wants to come hang out on YouTube and subscribe to that channel, I'd appreciate it as well. But if you're watching this on YouTube later on, feel free to come over to Twitch sometime. But I think over the summer, I think once I hit my 1 year anniversary on Twitch, which would be July, I think I'll try live streaming to Twitch and YouTube and see how that goes. I'm not looking to switch off of Twitch. Hey, that rhymed. I'm not looking to change off of Twitch. I know some streamers have gone from Twitch over to YouTube, and YouTube has actually been doing a really good job implementing a lot of the same streaming features that Twitch has. But I'm not looking to make that change. If anything, I would just stream live on both at the same time. So we'll see how that goes. Um, Need More Coffee Princess says the ad was pretty cool about the show about dinosaurs. Wish I had Apple TV Plus to watch it. I haven't seen that ad myself. I tried the Apple TV a couple of jobs ago. I got like a free laptop, and they're like, "All right, you get Apple TV for or for a year or something with the laptop." And I tried watching a couple of shows, and it kept hanging, it kept crashing, and I'm like, I'm just gonna like load up Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus or Google Play Movies or like all the other places that I watch movies and shows and stuff anyway. So it never worked for me, even on a Mac. It just never worked. So hey, Patrick W, good to see you. What's going on? Just starting a stream for the day. This is my typical sort of stream time for interview advice and career prep and so on. So we're just hanging out, just helping folks out with that. Let's get some background music going here. I usually have Spotify going. I need to change something on my Stream Deck and get that going. So let's get some tunes going here in the background. Just get some mellow sort of music going here. I'll make sure it's turned down so you're not hearing that more than you're hearing me. Although I'm sure you'd rather hear good music than my nasally voice. But anyway, Prehistoric Planet is the show. Looked interesting and realistic. Cool. I'll have to check that out. I've got a new MacBook from work, and I have my own MacBook, but I don't know if the new one came with like the free subscription or whatever to Apple TV. But I already pay for like a ton of streaming things because we don't pay for cable TV anymore. I actually called our internet provider and said, like, give me the absolute bare minimum I have to have in order to have internet, and then give me like the best, fastest internet thing you can. So I got like their 1 gigabit, download, 40 megabit upload kind of thing, and it works great for streaming. I basically told them I need the fastest upload speed possible because I do lots of streaming and stuff. But I don't want to be paying for like a ton of TV channels because we don't watch live TV. And so I'm paying for like 3 basic, cable channels or something like that. And that's it. So many subscription services now. I agree, Andy. There's so much. Like by the time I add up like Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and what's the other one? There's another one that I think my wife pays for, ABC. And there's maybe one other one, I forget, but yeah, it probably adds up to what we were paying for our cable bill. But we get to watch what we want to watch when we want to watch it. We used to have the TiVo, and we were paying for the TiVo subscription so that we could actually record shows and watch them later. But it's more convenient now just to watch everything online. So good times. Need More Coffee Princess says, same here. It's like double the price to have TV channels and half that you don't even watch. Exactly. Yeah, like my internet provider keeps coming up with all these bundle deals of like, oh, we'll give you a gigabit and like 300 TV channels for like $100 a month. It's like, I'm not going to watch any of those, but I'll take the deal for $100 a month if you're going to like give me that fast internet speed. And they just changed the price back on what I was paying for the gigabit plus the 3 channels. They increased that price by like 50%. So I got to call them and threaten to leave so that they'll drop it back down. Good times. Patrick W says, I've heard so much about the interview advice, but haven't been able to catch a stream. Well, thanks for dropping by. I do have a Discord channel that you can go check out. I've got some anonymous questions in there that we'll get through today. Not going to get through all of them today, but I will definitely be drawing from some of those questions today. And if Epicat shows up, Epicat redeemed some channel points last stream to critique a job post just as we were wrapping up, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're totally going to do that, but before we do that, blah blah blah, and I like did the giveaway, and then I'm like, all right, let's go raid, and we raided, and I'm like, oh shoot, we didn't do the job post. So if Epicat shows up, we'll critique a job post. They had a specific one from Indeed.com that they wanted me to kind of give my thoughts on, and I've been oh, Epicat's here, sweet. Epicat, drop that link to Indeed. We'll definitely do that job post if you still have it bookmarked. And we'll definitely go through that. So I've been having a lot of fun with that one. I'm glad I added that as a channel point redemption here on Twitch to go critique job posts. So having been an engineering manager and a director of engineering and being involved in a lot of hiring, I've got a pretty good idea of like what goes into a resume, what goes into a job post, and like how those things can match up. And there's a really good site out there that I really like. Let me type this out: jobscan.co. If you're ever curious about how well your resume matches up to a job post, go check out this website, jobscan.co. and they will give you a couple of free scans of a resume where you paste in, or you upload your resume and you paste in the text of a job post, and it tells you how well they match up. They look for things like keywords and phrases and technologies and things like that, and it does a pretty good job suggesting like, hey, you might want to spell this one out a little bit, or like, you're using all these acronyms, you might want to spell them out to better match the job post, or the job post is asking for this and you don't say that on your resume anywhere. Things like that. It'll actually give you some pretty decent advice. And then if you like post about it on social media, they give you a couple more scans. And if you actually register and give them your email address, they email you all the time, and they're like, all right, if you want 5 more scans, kind of thing. And there's just like little things that they ask you to do to kind of help promote their platform. But if you're on the job hunt, it's actually a pretty good tool to scan your resume and get some feedback. But I also do resume reviews here. So if you ever want a resume review, you're welcome to send that over. We did have somebody send one over, but I haven't contacted them to let them know when I'm going to do that resume review. So I'll have to see when's going to be a good time to I like to do like a couple of them back to back. And so I've got one resume in the queue right now. So if anybody else wants a resume review, send that over, and then we'll do that like next session kind of thing. So yeah, it's actually a pretty neat site. I'm pretty happy that people are building that kind of stuff. So, all right, Epiccat gave us that link, so I think we'll go dive into on that. So let me go pull that up in a browser window here. Browser, and that's going to be this page. All right, let me just reposition this a little bit here, and I'll zoom in on it so y'all can see it here a little bit better. In the meantime, if you're just here hanging out, go ahead and actually it's over here now. Go type !dragon in the chat if you want to be part of that giveaway. We're going to be wrapping up the giveaway on Tuesday, so I'm streaming today. I'm going to try to stream again Tuesday night, sometime between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Mountain Time, because I'm doing some mock interviews either side of that, unless they cancel. If they cancel, then I'll stream a little bit earlier. But that'll be our last giveaway, and I'm basically going to give away any dragons I have left, and I'm still printing them. So if you go check out MakerDeck right now, you'll actually see I've got this really amazing rainbow filament that you actually see on this dragon here. I'll give you a close-up of that in a minute. The second one looks kind of orange and yellow. It's actually a heat-sensitive filament that changes 3 colors. So when it's cold, it's green. When it's warm, it's kind of this pink-orange. And when it's hot, it's yellow. And it makes this really cool effect with the dragons. And then the last one is the dark sparkle blue from Polymaker that they don't make anymore. So it is kind of a rare filament. I made one in the dark sparkle green, and that one went like that on the giveaway. But let me show you the glow-in-the-dark one here, or the heat-sensitive one. So this is the color of the filament when it's cold. It's kind of a grayish green sort of color. But I'm just going to hold it in my hand here for a sec. Hey, Jeremy Google, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. I give you some blinky lights here. And so just holding it in my hand and heating it up a little bit, it started to turn pink. So you can kind of see the color difference. Let me pull up one that's cold and one that I started warming up. So you can kind of see there's a bit of a color difference. One started turning kind of that pink color, and the other one's kind of the dark green. And then I actually had one of these in my car the other day, and I came back out to my car and it was bright yellow. And so I'm kind of curious, like what temperature they actually change. But yeah, it's a pretty neat filament for sure. Alrighty, let's see. Yumu says JobScan also has a great applicant tracking system friendly resume templates. That's true. Yeah, so they will make recommendations, and they've got things on their site that you can like pay for memberships and pay to unlock things on their site as well. If you're looking to invest in your career, I think tools like that are worth the investment. Honestly, I think these people know what applicant tracking systems are looking for, and they've got pretty good ideas on how to format a resume. You don't have to follow it explicitly to the letter, but it'll at least give you an idea of like if you put it in this kind of format, the applicant tracking system is going to probably scan through it a lot easier than others. All right, so Epiccat gave us this job post that we're going to go through and critique here. So let's see. Epiccat said something else in chat. I saw it. You have to scroll down a little bit to get to the job. Okay, so this is Talentful. Talentful is inventing the future of recruitment by offering cutting-edge solutions that help high-growth technology companies hire the best talent. So this company is building solutions that help other companies hire people that like to do their job. Okay, so our experienced talent experts act as a flexible on-site extension of in-house. So they're basically staff augmentation for recruiting via a monthly subscription to ensure best cultural matches and outstanding recruitment experiences for top talent companies. So this is what we call staff augmentation. So there are companies that will hire developers to be staff augmentation. So let's say I run one of these companies, I hire Epiccat, and then I sort of rent out Epiccat to my clients to say, oh, Epicat's a developer, you need a developer, I'm going to let Epiccat work on your project for you, and you can pay me a bunch of money. And so this company, Talentful, is basically doing the same thing, but for recruiters. So they're helping with everything from hiring to process reviews, event strategy, diversity workshops. That's great that they're putting in that kind of effort. Helping many of the top companies, including Alphabet, which is Google, Microsoft, Deliveroo, never heard of them, heard of Pinterest, Atlassian, never heard of Monzo, Expedia, they're still around, Instacart, Miro is pretty cool, many more, cool. So they've got some good names on here. Talentful has built a global team in London, Berlin, New York. Okay, cool. Well, let's dive down. So this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a software engineer with 8+ years experience to join our front-end engineering efforts at Talentful. We are embarking on a mission to invent the future of recruiting to change the status quo. All right, well, let's start with this. So about a decade ago is really when things started to really truly split into back end and front end, where we started seeing a lot more front end frameworks sort of popping up, and people started specializing just in user experience and user interfaces, what we call UX and UI. And so they're looking for someone that's been around kind of since that split, where you have totally focused and dedicated on that front end engineering. We're embarking on a mission to invent the future of recruiting. Let's zoom in on that a bit more for you. Oh, that's annoying. No, let's at least get rid of that. There we go. We're embarking on a mission to invent the future of recruiting. Okay. You'll be one of our first engineers. Uh-oh. To me, that's a bit of a flag when they say you're going to be the first or one of the first. That's not a great situation to be in if you're looking for help or mentorship, but that's also why they're looking for a senior level person, because they want you to come in and kind of lead and take charge and tell them this is what you should be doing. So they want someone that's going to have enough experience to step into the role and say this is how things should be done based on your level of experience. It's not saying you will be the first. You're going to be one of our first engineers on this mission. And you'll be reporting directly to the CPTO. Interesting. Chief PTO. What's the PTO? Principal Technology Officer? I've never heard of a CPTO. I've heard of C3PO, and I've heard of CTO, but I haven't heard of CPTO. This is a fully remote position. Almost anywhere in North America or Canada. Last time I checked, Canada was part of North America. So if you're saying almost anywhere in North America, this makes it sound like they just care about America or Canada. So why not just be more explicit about this? This is a weird sort of thing to tack on here, especially considering up here that they're all about diversity and so on. But down here they're okay, maybe not if you live in Central America or Mexico or something, but we're going to explicitly say North America or Canada. It's weird to say that this company helps with job posts and helps make this kind of thing better. This is not off to a great start. If I were looking at this as a hiring manager going, should I hire Talentful? Looking at something like this, I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Jerry McGuire's asking, so is this a temporary job? Not necessarily. So if I were to run a consulting business, I might hire Jerry full-time, and you are my employee full-time. I pay your salary, I pay your benefits, but then I rent you out to do other things. Now, Companies will do that kind of thing for all kinds of work, whether it's development work, marketing, sales, in this case, recruiting. There's lots of opportunity. Well, Talentful, like they hire people out to do recruiting. Now, as a business, I'm going to figure out like what's my salary hourly rate for you. So if I hire you at $100,000 a year, that's $50 an hour. I'm going to charge my client probably $150 to $200 an hour. So I'm more than making up for your salary and benefits and taxes and whatever. But then as a business, I'm also making money. But then that company is going to expect $200 an hour worth of effort out of you when you're only getting paid $50 an hour. So they're going to be like putting pressure on you. So sometimes if you're working on like at their location, it can put a little extra pressure on you. Anyway, so as an engineer on the team, you'll be building an easy to use, highly performant, visually appealing product. So highly performant, I mean, from a front end point of view, there are things that you can do to make things very performant, make them very fast, have good user experiences. But as a front end developer, you're going to be tying into a lot of back end services that you may not have control over because you're joining the front end engineering team. And so you're only going to be able to control the aspect of what happens in the browser. And the browser is using your end user's CPU and RAM. And so the performance of it is going to depend on who your target is. If they show up on your website and they're using a really slow computer, their experience is going to be worse than somebody who visits your website with a really fast computer. And so you do need to like think about performance as you're writing your code and how long things actually take to render on the screen. Having 8 years of experience, you'll have seen a lot of this and see a lot of ways of improving this. Visually appealing, that's not really a front-end developer's job. That's a designer's job. It's just your job to make that, you know, sort of visual design happen in a browser. So I'm already like, it's not my job as a front-end engineer to make it visually appealing. Like, I need someone else to actually make the design. I'll go implement that design. So hopefully they've got a designer on the team. To change how companies grow their teams. All right, you'll contribute to a collaborative and learning team culture. Okay, good. Where everybody pitches in wherever help is needed. So they're hiring you as a full-time front-end engineer, but they're saying, but we're going to expect that you're going to like work on potentially other things if we need it. So if you've got 8 years of experience, you're going to be pretty flexible. And so helping out wherever it's needed, yeah, that's probably fine. My worry, though, is they're going to be like, all right, we need someone to actually do the visual design aspect. So, Ian, you're our front-end guy, so you're going to be working on the visual designs. Like, I could draw stick figures. That's the extent of my visual design. But if you give me, like, something that you want me to design, I'll go implement that. Like, if you can draw what you want it to be, like, I can go make that. But I'm not going to be good at the design side of it. Wherever help is needed, and both teaches and learns from others without ego. I love this. I think this is fantastic. So the company as a whole, part of their culture is to learn from one another and to share knowledge with one another. And that's what this whole channel is all about. My whole tagline in this channel for Tech Interview Guide is share what you know and we all win. And this company seems to embody that, which is great. You'll be spending a large part of your day writing code as part of a 7-person engineering team by the end of 2022. Well, how big is it now? That would be my question. They want to hire 7 people. They're telling you up here you're going to be one of the first. So how many of these people have they already hired? Like, are you going to end up being the first front-end engineer and then they're going to have, like, you know, eventually have others? This is a pretty good balance. 4 front-end engineers, 3 back-end engineers. I would prefer to be like 3 and 3 and have like 1 full stack that can float in between the two to help out. How we strive to work. Don't be annoying. Don't be easily annoyed. All right. Bring the person you want to be to work. All right. That's interesting for sure. Hey, B Whiskey. Thanks for dropping by. Midnight Smith says Canada doesn't want to be lumped in the USA with the same continent. I can't blame them. As a Canadian, yeah, I could agree with that for sure. Chief Product and Technology Officer. Oh, thanks for looking that up. Need more coffee. Appreciate that. Canada must be north of South America. That's great. I hadn't heard that one, but that's great. Don't be annoying comes off as being rude. Yeah, and unwelcoming. Could be. Yeah, and the fact that that's the very first thing that they tell you Makes me think that they've had this in the past and they want to be careful to protect against that. So this might be like an internal culture kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, we'll jump in here on some other stuff. So design matters, user experience matters most. Programming is a team sport. We ship daily, we rest daily. Unused code is debt. That's not the only technical debt that you have. So when we talk about technical debt, we think about like accruing debt, like a credit card that you don't pay off, kind of thing. And it's not just that unused code is debt. It's also code that someone else has written that they no longer want to maintain, or that nobody knows how it works, but it is being used. That's also considered technical debt. Because it takes a lot longer to figure out later, like, how do we make a change to this so we're confident that if we change this code, it's not going to break like 50 other things. The Midnight Smith says, oh, hey, you're Canadian? Yep. I've looked at the immigration requirements, but if my company is a branch in the States and I transfer, could I then get residency after a time? Maybe. I'll address that a little bit later. But yeah, I came down to the States in 2000. I got my citizenship in 2019. So I was here for a long time before I got citizenship. But yeah, I can chat about my experience with that later. Quality is not a variable, only time or scope. So they're really big on like quality really matters here. So only time and scope are variables. Well, having scope as a variable, that basically means like we can change what we want you to do at any time. The amount of time it takes is also going to change, but quality is like first and foremost. I don't like that they're like big on, oh, we're going to change the scope of what it is we want you to do. We're going to change the requirements of what we want you to do. That is allowed to be a variable thing. At some point, you do need to firm that up so you can actually go implement it. Kanban, not Scrum. That's fine. Code, not estimates. Okay. So this is basically saying, like, we don't want to know how long it's going to take. We just want you to go do the work, which is, yeah, that's part of the job. But you also have to give them some expectation of this is going to take a week to do. This is going to take a month to do. So I think there is value in having some of that. Debate over deliberation. Yep. We like discussions and problem solving with our teammates live. So they're telling you you can be fully remote, but they would prefer to have meetings synchronously. They don't want asynchronous check-ins. So if you've got something to discuss with a teammate, they would rather have it in a live meeting because the pace of that will happen much faster instead of an asynchronous sort of like chat or email or Slack thread or something like that. The downside to doing it live is you need to have somebody transcribing like what was said, or have it recorded so that you can go back later and say, well, Ian said he was going to do such and such by this or that date, or he was going to implement this or that in this particular way. That's the nice thing about having asynchronous things, is that you've got notes that you can kind of fall back on. We have daily stand-ups daily on Zoom. Yep, you already mentioned that. We're present when we're present, and the Zoom camera is on. This is already exclusionary to some people who are introverted or deal with anxiety. This is already going to exclude a bunch of people. Forcing people to have the camera on in Zoom every time you meet. This is actually quite draining. This is something that I hope the company would be flexible on. Tickets are for tracking, not discussion. Then where are you having that discussion? Where are you keeping track of the notes of what you want to do and what you want to change? I get you want to have those meetings live, but you need that written down somewhere. And if that's not as part of the ticket, then where are you writing that stuff? If it's blocked, unblock it. Well, if it's blocked, like if I'm a front-end developer and something's blocked on the back end, I can't unblock back end if I'm not a back end developer. Waiting is losing. Well, if I got to wait for that back end developer to finish building out an API endpoint so that I can finish doing my work, I'm blocked. Like, I'll find something else to do, but I can't unblock it. Some of this language in here comes across a little aggressive to me. Like the culture of this feels a little bit aggressive. How we strive to develop. If AWS solves it, we use it. All right, they're putting all their eggs in a single basket. What if AWS goes down? Your whole business goes down. Feature flags over branches. Okay, interesting. Yep, I like that. Feature flags are a good thing, and we talked a little bit about that in our last stream. You write some code, you write some tests. Yes, I like that. Preferably in the other order. I like writing tests first and then writing code. Key value stores over relational databases. There are times and places where you want to use relational databases. but key value store is fine. We'll go look at their at what they're building in a minute. We instrument and monitor all the things. Excellent. You need to have observability to know like how things are operating. Remote development environments. Well, you already told me that you're working remote, but a remote development environment usually means that your IDE and everything is online as well. So I'd be curious what kind of tooling they use for that. So TypeScript, React, GraphQL, GitHub, AWS, Slack, Gmail, Google Docs. In testing, they use Coda, and all the rest to be determined. Okay, this is a pretty good tech stack. GraphQL is going to work well for a lot of teams. GraphQL, though, could be connected to a relational database. So telling me you want to do a key value store but use a relational database, can you even use GraphQL on a NoSQL database? Can we use GraphQL over Mongo? Yep, apparently you can. Okay. I've only ever used GraphQL with relational databases. About you. You love software engineering, the profession, the craft. You care about the user, usability, performance, reliability. Well, you already told me up above here that quality matters most, user experience matters most, but down here, this is point number 2. So if quality and user experience is really utmost, this should be the first bullet point. You're driven to ship code. You care about modern programming practices like behavior-driven development, extreme programming. Again, this can be a little bit aggressive if not done well. You're a constant learner with an open mind. Yep. You strongly believe engineering is always in service of delivering great experiences. So you've already told us this like several times in your job post. It's starting to feel a little redundant. You balance when you need to write deeply tested bulletproof code and when you just need to ship. So this tells me they don't practice test-driven development. Behavior-driven development is like, what should the end user see? And I do agree with some of this. There are some core features that absolutely must work 100% of the time, and that code needs to be very strongly tested. But they're saying, like, you know, if there's some things that you don't have to test, like, don't worry about writing test code. But that also starts to reduce the confidence that you have overall in the code, but okay. I do agree with the first part. This second part, again, they're worried more about, like, let's get the product done, let's get the product out, let's keep people using it and paying for it. But being part of an engineering team where I know not everything is tested doesn't give me 100% confidence where they say up here, you ship daily and rest daily. I'm not going to be able to rest very well. Me, myself. This is just because of my own practice and my own experience, having done this like about 15 years ago, where you're constantly writing code that's not tested and putting it in production. I lost a lot of sleep. I lost a lot of rest trying to do that, where you're pushing code that isn't tested because you don't know whether it's actually going to work or not. So far, though, like, this is pretty lightweight as far as like who we want you to be to come join our team. This list is starting to feel really long though. So again, they want somebody with 8+ years experience. So you regularly, happily, and successfully help others come up to speed on code base and programming techniques. Yep, okay. You built a number of horizontally scalable, high-performance services in your time. Well, if you're a front-end developer, you haven't done service development. You've done application development. So this is already incongruent. This doesn't line up with what they want the job post to be. They want you to be a front-end developer. You're not going to be building horizontally scalable like services or microservices. This doesn't fit with the job description. Horizontally scalable is basically we can drop in additional hardware and it's just going to work. With front-end frameworks, that is going to happen no matter what, because they're doing local storage probably on the user's computer to some degree, but they're also just talking to back-end APIs. So yeah, you can drop in as much hardware as you need if you start seeing the bottleneck is actually accessing the server to retrieve your front-end application. But once you retrieve that JavaScript, it's running on the user's computer. It's not really a horizontal scale thing at this point for the front-end development. Horizontal scale is going to be more for the back end because you can have all these front-end clients hitting your API, and that needs to scale well. This is a back-end developer bullet point. This is not a front-end developer bullet point. You've worked on many microservices and have authored a fair number from scratch. That's not a front-end developer's job. You've handled countless on-call incidents, debugged and remediated plenty of production issues in the past decade. So again, this is kind of playing back on the whole like ship quickly, get it out there, and by the way, I hope you're cool with being on call. Well, if you would let me write tests, we could reduce the on-call time. So that's where I would want to be pushing, like, hey, you know, if we spent more time writing tests, we would spend less time being on call, and then we could actually rest daily like you tell us you want us to do. So there are a couple of things in here that are a little off for sure. HFW says in chat, honestly, this sounds a little bit like sink or swim. I agree. Really weird to have horizontal scale when front end is being run on a local browser. Exactly. Yep. And when you think about it, I mean, it is horizontally scaled because every user you got coming in is another sort of system running your code. Let's see, what else? It took 19 years to get citizenship? No, I'll chat about that a little bit later. Oh, Midnight Smith wants to move to Canada from the States. Okay. Yeah, we can chat about that. Cool. So you've added instrumentation to Codebase. Yep. And there's lots of tooling out there for doing that kind of stuff like New Relic and Datadog and so on. You're all in on asynchronous programming models. If you're doing front-end development, everything's pretty much going to be async these days. You've read a bunch of articles on software engineering practices and tooling in the past month. So this could come up in the interview and say like, hey, you know, what have you read? How are you staying up to date? You know, how are you working on these technologies and so on? 4+ years working with AWS because they are all in on AWS, so you're going to have to know that really well. You've worked frequently with DynamoDB, SNS, and SQS, so simple queuing service. I forget what SNS is. They've got so many, you know, simple something service kind of thing. I'd have to go look that one up myself. You used HTTP caching technologies to solve plenty of problems. I mean, that's just like content delivery networks at this point. And you wrote production level code this week. Yeah, I mean, generally this is fine. Except for these two bullet points. These two bullet points don't belong. And this one, like having been at a job, well, at several jobs where I've been on call all the time, this doesn't make me feel good. I mean, the fact that you're going to be one of the first developers on the team, and it's going to be a relatively small team. If I were the engineering manager, I would say, okay, we're going to have 7 people on the team, so you're on call 1 week every 7. But if you're a front-end developer and something crashes on the back end, how are you supposed to fix that? Well, down here, they were basically talking about, like, you're going to jump in and, like, it was somewhere in here, like, you're going to jump in and help change things, like, wherever help is needed. So if you're on call and something on the back end crashes, you better know how to fix it. Well, now you're looking for 7 full-stack developers and not explicit discipline of, like, front-end versus back-end. So to me, this feels like they really hope to find full-stack people that can do all the things all the time, all the ways. So yeah, we recognize our people are our strongest asset, diverse skills they bring. As an equal opportunity, we don't discriminate on the basis. Okay. So there are a handful of things in here that sort of stand out as like, this is strange. But from an equality point of view, I think generally this does okay because they don't mention things like education requirements. All they're asking is 8 years of experience. This is the only strong requirement that they have, but they're not asking about like, have you worked at a top company? Have you, you know, do you have a particular kind of education background? They're just asking for straight up work experience. And they're going to want to see like a progression in that work experience and want to know, like down here at the bottom, they were asking like you've shipped code recently, you know about testing, you know about behavior-driven development. You've worked, you know, very recently with Amazon. You've worked very recently on, you know, things like instrumentation and asynchronous models. And that, you know, I like that their number one point is like you're going to share your knowledge with the rest of the team. Again, part of my thinking is they want to do that so that you're sharing that knowledge with one another so that anybody can fill in for anybody because you're all going to be on call working on all the same code. And the fact that they've got these 2 bullet points in a front-end developer description tells me that they're really looking for full stack developers. And so my thinking, this is my thought on this, I think Talentful is going to look at all these resumes coming in, and they're going to be screening internally for full stack developers, and those are going to be the first people to get phone calls. If you can do both front end and back end, if you can demonstrate that you can do front end development and back end development, I think you're going to get priority on interviews at this company. That's just my thought, given this job post. Cool. Well, thanks, Epicat. Appreciate sending that over. I like doing those. Those are a lot of fun. Simple notification service. Thank you. First dev, scope can be changed at any time. You're on call. Don't be annoying. Like, don't complain. Yeah, I agree. Oh, you moon. I think that there are a handful of things in there that I think if you've been in the industry a while, you're probably going to share a lot of that stuff as well. Like, you're going to be like, yeah, I hate working with annoying people too. But you know, there are a couple of things in there that would kind of like, kind of raise my hackles a little bit, or sort of not be like a drastic flag of like, no, I would never apply there. But I think that you need to take a very careful look at that job post and take a very careful look at the company to figure out, like, is this really somewhere that I would want to work? I think that would be something you would have to really take a good hard look at. Cool. G&D, I'll get to your question in a minute. So, excuse me. Had a power blip and one of my printers just reset, but it's recovering the print. So thank goodness for Prusa printers that can recover from power failures. So someone was asking about like citizenship. So I'm originally from Canada and I moved to the States. Someone's asking about, I'm in the States, I want to move to Canada. There are good things and bad things about being in Canada. Everyone's like, oh, but the healthcare's free. It's like, yeah, if you can survive the wait list. My dad was on a wait list for 4 or 5 weeks waiting for a quadruple bypass. So somebody who needed a quadruple bypass had to wait over a month to get the surgery. My mom needed shoulder surgery or knee surgery. She was on a wait list for 2 years. So basically disabled for 2 years, you know, couldn't move her arm or couldn't bend her knee. I forget which one. She had both. And she was on a wait list for 2 years. So yeah, free healthcare is great if you can hang out on the wait list for a long time. So this temperature changing filament, just real quick. So it's kind of this green when it's cold. Holding this in my hand for the last several minutes, it only went pink, and the tips of the horns just started turning bright yellow. And so body temperature is kind of this bright sort of pink orange color, but really hot will actually turn this like a bright yellow, like almost this Post-it note kind of yellow when it's really hot. So it could be interesting for different sorts of scenarios. So I'm going to be dropping some of these in the box. I've also got a couple in the two-tone blue as well as the silk copper color. I'll be dropping some of those in the boxes with the giveaway. So if you get your box and it's a warm sunny day and you open the box, this little dragon might be bright yellow when you unpack it. But we'll get to that giveaway here in a little bit. Might give away a couple of dragons today, so hang out and we'll go from there. Hey, Squirrel Master, good to see you. Thanks for entering that giveaway. Feel free to do !dragon in the chat. We'll keep an eye on how long that's been going. It's been going for about 43 minutes. There's only 3 entries. Are you kidding? There's 18 people viewing here right now, and there's only 3 people in that giveaway? That can't be right. I could have sworn I saw way more people than that enter the giveaway. Did something happen with my bot? I'm just scrolling back through chat to see how many people actually type bang dragon to get in that giveaway. So do !dragon and get in that giveaway. Yeah, only a few people actually entered the giveaway. So go ahead and hit bang dragon. I'm literally sending these 3D printed dragons, not the little ones. I've got big ones, like these big ones. I'm giving these away. So I've got them in several different colors. I've got 2 different styles, and I've got quite a few of them to give away yet. So yeah, do exclamation point dragon and get in that giveaway. And I'm shipping them around the world. I just sent a whole bunch of them international, and we've got some really interesting countries kind of around the world getting these things. So we've got I just sent like 4 of them to Canada. So PESLIZ and HFW, yours are on the way. I've sent you tracking info for those. Bets, yours is on the way. I sent 4 of them domestic, 4 of them to Canada. I sent 1 to India, 1 to Africa, and 4 more over to Europe: Norway, Finland, Estonia, and Germany. So they're all on the way. They'll be the ones in Europe will probably take, I'm hoping, no more than 3 or 4 weeks to actually get over there and distributed. I sent them over to a coworker, but my coworker's going on vacation like as soon as he gets that box, so I don't know whether he's going to have opportunity to mail them out. So we'll see what happens. Can you enter again? Yes, you can enter again, but I only send 1 per household. So if you win again, you can gift it to someone else in chat, or you can give me a different name and address of where you'd like to ship it to. So if you know a friend or a family member that you'd like to send one to, then you can certainly do that. Let's talk about the 19 years thing. So I came to the States in 2000. When I came to the United States, I came down on a NAFTA work visa when NAFTA was a thing. And the NAFTA work visa basically allowed people from Canada and Mexico to come into the United States to work for different kinds of roles, and one of them was a computer systems analyst role. As a computer systems analyst, you were restricted from doing 100% programming. Like, it wasn't meant to be like, oh, you're a software developer. It meant to be like a whole range of computer-related things. Like, you're doing a little bit of database work, you're doing a little bit of design work, you're doing a little bit of integration work, you're doing some programming. And so I had to be really careful working with the companies who wanted to hire me while I was on the NAFTA permit to help them actually write the job description and the job offer letter to make it sound like I wasn't going to be a full-time software developer. Even though that was a primary part of my job. But that's also why my first couple of jobs in the United States, I was doing a bit of DBA, I was doing a bit of DevOps, I was doing a bit of like racking servers in data centers. I was also doing programming. I was also doing a bit of support. I was also doing, like, I had a lot of roles because that was all encompassed in this computer systems analyst role that the NAFTA visa allowed for. And basically you show up at the border, you give them $60, and they kind of, look over your job offer letter and compare it with like phrasing and so on from their manuals and their books and whatever. And they basically approve you on the spot. And so typically, as you're flying into the country or driving into the United States, you would apply for this visa. The downside is they could say no, and now you can't go into the country. They'd be like, get back in your car and drive home, or sorry, you can't get on the plane because we don't approve the visa. Then you're kind of stuck. So I always did it at a border crossing where I could drive just in case something happened. I could drive away instead of having to book a ticket, check my luggage, get all the way to like the border kind of thing in the airport, and then have them deny me, and now I can't get on the plane, and I've already paid for the ticket, or the company's already paid for the ticket, and I don't show up. And so I always drove, and they always asked every single time, they're like, why didn't you just do this at the airport? And I'm like, well, it's conditional on you approving this. Like, you're the decision maker whether or not I get this visa. But because I had done my research and my homework on what a computer systems analyst did, and I helped the company write the job offer letter, it matched almost word for word what was in their little book. And so as they're scanning through, like, yep, the job offer matches what a CSA should do, so here's your stamp, you're approved, and you're good for a year at a time. So it was meant to be a temporary work visa for 1 year at a time. Well, I did that for several years, and then I met my wife, and we got married. So then I got the marriage-based green card at that point. So then I had permanent residency for 2 years. And then in the United States, when you get a green card based on marriage, it's only good for 2 years. You go back, you prove you're still married. Or if the marriage didn't work out, you have to really explain like what happened, because they want to make sure it's not just the convenience kind of thing to let you get into the country. When we went back in for our 2 year, so the first time we went in, we brought this big file folder full of like rent agreements and bank accounts that had both of our names and bills and utilities showing that we lived together and pictures and blah, blah, blah. And they approved that, no problem. When we went back in for the 2 year interview, we brought the same file folder full of like updated rent agreements and bank accounts and whatever. But when we went back for that interview, my wife was pregnant with our first kid, and so the very first thing they saw when they opened this file folder was the ultrasound of the baby, and they're like, "Oh, you're pregnant?" We're like, "Yep, we're having a kid." They closed the folder and like, "All right." So it was really fast. So I mean, they did other due diligence, but they didn't look through any of the other paperwork. They're like, "All right, well, clearly you've done your homework and you know what we're looking for or whatever." And so then I had a 10-year green card. And when that green card started running out, I had the option of renewing the green card. And at this point, I was only Canadian. I only held Canadian citizenship. And at that point, I had the choice of renewing the green card or applying for citizenship. And so I applied for citizenship at that point because I missed voting. I sincerely missed being able to vote. So I went for my citizenship and got it. That took about 7 months. Actually, no, more than that. It took almost a year to get my citizenship. And so going the other way, if your company is based in Canada and you're in the States and you want to move to the States, or you want to move to Canada from the States, there's going to be similar kinds of scrutiny. Like, can you, especially if you have family. So if you move to Canada, you have to prove that you are employed in order to bring your family into Canada as well. And so you have to typically establish residency, work for a period of time, pay taxes, and so on, show that you're a contributing member to society, and then your family can come join you. I haven't heard of any story where an entire family moved all together at the same time. But I imagine if you've got a spouse and children, there would be exceptions for that. I can only share my experience from there. Like I know one guy, when I lived in Ottawa, he also lived in Ottawa. He went down to Guyana, married his wife in Guyana, lived there for a little while, and then they both wanted to come back to Canada. They made him move back first, establish residency, start a job in Canada, and then she was allowed to apply for a visa, and then they had to wait for that timeline, and then actually wait for the timeline to actually come to Canada after that. So it took a long time. They were apart almost a year, and if he left the country without permission, they would abandon his paperwork, and so he couldn't even go down and see her. So they were physically apart for like a year before she even got to go back to Canada, because her country started delaying on the visa to leave their country. So in Guyana, they needed a visa to leave, or they needed permission to leave the country to go to another country. So there was a lot of weird stuff going on there. So as far as like other requirements and so on, I don't know all those hard requirements, especially for development level jobs. But going from country to country, there are rules and processes and so on that you're going to need to follow. So as far as why was I here for 19 years before getting my citizenship, so I did the first 5 or 6 years on the NAFTA visa, and then it is meant to be like a temporary visa, and so they expect that you're going to be a renter and things like that. And so I had the opportunity to buy a house for like $230,000 in San Dimas at the time, which is worth like $1.5 million now. It would have been nice to have bought into real estate back then, but I didn't. And so there was a scrutiny there where if I had to try to buy a house, then I wouldn't have been seen as a temporary work visa, and they could have denied my work visa because I was trying to buy a house. So I just rented for several years. And then once I got married, I had to renew the temporary work visa one more time while I was waiting for the green card, like the first green card thing to go through. And then it was just the 2 years and then the 10-year green card. And then I basically waited until the 10-year green card was running out. And I'm like, yeah, I really miss voting. I want to get back into doing my civic duty and so on. And so I got my citizenship. I went to the oath ceremony, and I got my citizenship on a Friday. And by that next Tuesday, I had a jury summons in the mail. And I'm like, sweet, jury duty. All right, time to be a citizen and do my civic duty. And I was all excited to go do jury duty, because we have jury duty in Canada, but almost nobody uses it because it's up to the defendant to choose whether they want a jury trial or not. And I think Canadians are so polite, they don't want to put other people through jury duty. And so like 98% of cases that qualify for a jury trial never go to a jury trial. And so growing up, I thought Canadians just didn't have jury duty. It turns out they do. It's just extremely rare that you'd ever get called for jury duty. And so I'm like, yeah, sweet, jury duty, let's go do the thing. And you know, you go and you wait in line, and they call you, and I get in there, and they start telling you about the case, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't want to be here for this. Like it was like, thankfully I got dismissed, but it was like at the very end of the day, I was like the second last person that they had to dismiss before they had a full jury panel. And I was like literally biting my nails the whole time going, please don't pick me, please don't pick me, please don't pick me. It would have been psychologically damaging to me to have sat through that trial as a juror. Like it would have been very emotionally taxing. And I'm glad I didn't get picked. But I was also kind of disappointed because I wanted to do my due diligence, or not due diligence. I wanted to do my part, but not like that. Not for that. Like give me like a DUI or something. But like what this person was involved in was not something that I was excited about once I got in there. So anyway, polite criminals. Yeah, I think Canadian, even the criminals in Canada are polite. They'll rob you and then apologize. There's been a big shift in immigration law over the last 5 or 6 years. Yeah, for sure. Cool. And just scrolling back through chat because I know that I missed a bunch of stuff. You're headquartered in the U.S. with a Canadian office and a Peru office. So Midnight Smith, I mean, if it's something where you want to go to Canada, I mean, start talking to your company about it and see, you know, is there a way to get transferred? If they've got offices in both, then they'll have legal teams in both. And I imagine that they would be able to help you with that if there's a good business case for it and it makes sense for you to move there. You know, I bet the company would help you out with that. I never. So HFW said you never went through the TN pipeline. Yes, I did. Hey, Boss Chopsters, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. I'm gonna give you some blinky lights and maybe a hello. I don't know if the audio went through or not. Feel free to do !dragon. Get in the dragon giveaway. I want to follow up with another question. So Caranto asked a question. Do you have any advice on phone screens? Are there any things that I should prep for or be aware of? It's a small company, so it'll probably be with a technical manager. Yeah, I agree. If it's a small enough company that they don't even have an HR team, you're going to be talking with a hiring manager right away. And typically in the States, that's around 40 employees, usually 50 or less. In the United States, as soon as a company hits 50 employees, they are subject to laws that smaller companies aren't held to. For example, if I were to join a company less than 50 people, I could be fired or let go for doing a job slowly. But as soon as that company reaches 50 people, anybody over the age of 40 becomes a protected class of citizen who can't be let go for doing a job slower than someone else. And so if I don't type as fast or I don't bag groceries as fast, if that company's more than 50 people, you can't fire me for doing my job slowly. If I'm doing the job and I'm qualified to do the job, you can't fire me for doing it slowly. Yeah, thanks for changing the lights up here, GND. So there are different things to account for there. So the fact that the company is small, yes, does mean that you're more likely to talk to a hiring manager, because until they get close to that 50-person size, they probably don't even have like an HR department. They may have like one person doing recruiting. When they start hitting like around 25, 30 people, that's when they're like, okay, well, if we're going to keep growing, we should hire HR and start standardizing on things. And so if it's a relatively small company, yeah, you're going to hear from a hiring manager first. That first, what I typically tell people about phone screens is you should always expect the conversation to get technical, but you do need to know who you're speaking with to know how technical you want to talk to them about things. Like how deep do you want to go in that conversation as far as technical terminology? So if you know you're talking to the hiring manager for a role, expect to go really deep. Expect to talk about your projects, expect to talk about technologies, and that first phone call is probably going to be like a 30 to 45-minute call. If the very first company or the very first person at the company to contact you is HR or a recruiter, they're probably not technical, but never assume that. Should never assume that. And so you could, and that first phone call is typically only going to be like 10 to 15 minutes long. And it's just get to know you a little bit, scan through your resume, tell me some quick things about you. Why did you apply for the job? What salary expectation do you have? Okay, I'm going to like hand you off to the hiring manager and they'll contact you for next step kind of thing. And so if it's an HR recruiter phone screen, it's typically going to be much shorter. But like your question asked, it's probably going to be a hiring manager. So I would expect that phone call to be half hour, 45 minutes, and expect it to get technical. Expect to explain things that you've done at previous jobs or projects that you've done, technologies that you've worked with. And those questions could encompass anything from how does Python implement dictionaries in Python 3 differently than Python 2? Or, how does JavaScript, do such and such? Or, tell me about how you did such and such in this framework or that framework. And so those questions are going to get pretty technical. Always expect to be technical. They may surprise you and just say like, hey, we just want to like do a quick screening call, kind of hear about your background a little bit. And now that we know about you, we want to give you like this take-home assignment and actually watch you do some code or something like that. But I would always expect that first phone call to get technical if it's a hiring manager for sure. If you go subscribe to my email series, you can see some questions in there. Also, if you want to get in on the Dragon giveaway, go subscribe to that email series. We'll be drawing a winner today from that database, and we'll be drawing one more winner from that database on Tuesday for the last stream of the month for the giveaway. So if you want an additional opportunity, go subscribe, and it's a double opt-in from there. So those would be the first couple of things I would think of. If you know that you're being phone screened by a hiring manager, I would do that. Also, the first phone call that you get, even if you do speak with an HR recruiter and they hand you off to that hiring manager for the next call, I would treat that call the same way that we're expecting this call to happen, where we expect the conversation to get very technical pretty early on. All right, let's scroll back up here. I think I missed some other stuff. So Squirrel Master was asking, how would you recommend beginning to learn software development? That's a good question. There's lots of free stuff out there. There's actually a group out there called 100 Devs, and there's a Twitch channel. I think it's Learn with Leon, and they're basically going through and they're learning everything about software development. But it's very fast paced, like it's almost a full-time job. I think a lot of people are doing it as a part-time, like do it in the evenings and weekends kind of structure. But they're teaching you absolutely everything you need to know to go get a job. There are a lot of free resources out there for learning how to code. Like Free Code Camp is a good one as well. There's a lot of structured curriculum on there. Or if you've got the resources and you've got the sort of that privilege in life to like go back to school, you could go back to school for that and do anything from like I would probably not do less than a 4-month boot camp. If you're going to do a boot camp, I would aim for like a 6-7 month kind of boot camp or a code program where they can like really get you into doing a lot of different projects. The shorter boot camps, you'll learn some basics, but it's going to be a lot harder to get a job after like a 9 or 10 week boot camp than if you do like a 6 or 7 month boot camp. But again, you have to have sort of the place in life and the privilege of like you can afford to go back to school for that long because most of those are going to be like full-time kinds of boot camps. But yeah, there's a ton of resources out there to learn software development for free. So I would look into those. Let's see, just having a look through chat here because I know I missed a bunch of other stuff here as well. Yeah, I've also got a bunch of free stickers. If you scroll down on the page a little bit in the About section or on the About tab in Twitch, you'll see some little Dragon stickers. We'll get some Dragon sticker hype going here when we do the giveaway here in a minute. Do you know if the process is easier or harder these days? Moon, I'm trying to think of the context of your question there. Was that about like the immigration stuff or was that something else? Oh, working in America is Canadian. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know whether that would be any different. Yeah, I'm like way behind on chat. Bear with me here. I generally thought it was easy between Canada and the US. A lot of people have that same thinking. I mean, culturally, there's a lot of similar culture. From a work point of view, you'll be working with the exact same tools and so on. But as far as like getting into the country to legally work, there are going to be immigration laws and rules and stuff you're going to have to follow no matter which direction you're going. Here in the States, jury trial is only like robbery, physical harm. We don't do jury for traffic tickets 99% of the time. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Scrollmaster, sorry, I saw your question from the first time. Get one of Bean's Dragons, Nate, 550. So yeah, let's chat about that. So we've got a couple of different styles of 3D printed dragon. So this one is made by a designer called Magaibeer. And so they basically designed this articulated dragon. It's all one piece. Well, I mean, there's separate segments, but it all prints as one 3D print, and you pull it off the printer, and it moves around and articulates like this. The other style is this one, and it's called the Imperial Dragon. And the only difference is the person that designed this one, it was a different designer. It's also a little bit longer, but the designer that made this one made it sort of stand up and pose itself. And so I had these printed in different colors of plastic. Some of them are multicolor plastic. And so the recipient of the giveaway, or recipients, if I give more than one away, I'm going to give more than one. You'll get to choose the style of dragon, and then based on the style of dragon, you're going to get to choose color. If you want to go check out MakerDeck in another tab, you'll see my printers running 3 of them right now. One's in a dark sparkle blue filament, which is rare. They don't make it anymore. Another one is a temperature changing filament, and so that one is actually on the print bed. It's bright yellow because the print bed is really hot, and then it's kind of like a red color as it cools down, and then when it's totally cold, it's kind of this green color, sort of this grayish green color. And then the other one is a cool sparkly rainbow filament, which I'll show you in a minute. And the sparkly filament, actually, if you go check out my Twitter, I am on the Twitters, and I tweeted some pictures of that. So I use the same username on Twitter and LinkedIn as I do here on Twitch. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn if you want me to make connections and introductions. Feel free to do that. But go check out my Twitter. I posted some photos of the rainbow filament. And so I'll show you that dragon in a minute, but that will be one that's available for the giveaway as well. So Scrollmaster asked, why can't they fire you for working slowly? So at a certain size, there are laws to protect workers. And one of the laws, when the company is greater than 50 people, makes people over the age of 40 a protected class. So just like gender discrimination is a thing, and race is a discrimination thing, they could discriminate against you for age. And if the company is more than 50 people, they can't discriminate based on age, where sometimes speed could be a factor. And so just because, like, if I don't type as slowly, or I'm like, I only type with 2 fingers as opposed to all the fingers kind of thing, if I just work slower, they can't fire me for that. So it's a law. Anybody over the age of 40, if the company is greater than 50 people, anybody over the age of 40 is also a protected class, that there are discriminations that they're not allowed to make, and one of them is that you work slower. So those are little interesting things to know, and that's also why I generally tell people who are like career changers and getting into the tech industry, I usually tell them, like, your first job, don't be at a small company. Get into a big company, prove yourself, because they can't fire you for working slowly, and that gives you time to kind of ramp up, get used to things, get used to the pace of things, and then you start getting better at it, you get faster at it, and then you can go work for a smaller company. So if you are over the age of 40, I would say don't make your first job a company less than 50 people, because they could say, like, hey, you know what, you're not getting your stuff done fast enough, and we're going to let you go. But under 50 people, they can totally do that with no repercussions at all. Some hiring managers are too outdated about technology. Avoid those companies. Yep, for sure. Caranto said they sent a take-home tech assessment after sending in my resume. I finished that last week, and this morning I got an email to schedule a phone screen. That's cool. That's great. Midnight Smith says, I'm going back in my 30s for mechanical engineering. Good for you. I'm always a big fan of going back and improving your education. I guess I need to learn French or Spanish now. Thanks for all the dragon stickers. I did see a bunch of those slap on the screen earlier. Midnight Smith says, we had a guy who was 70 with a boatload of physical restrictions, so he became a floor sweeper because they couldn't find anything else for him to do with the restrictions. Cool dude, glad he got to stay on. Yeah, that's interesting. I like the Colorado law that requires salary range in the job posting. Yeah, me too. Good to see you, Whip. I wish more states would pass that law. And I think I've heard a rumor that that California is trying to do the same. And I think if California passes that law, oh my gosh, that's going to be like a massive game changer for everybody. So if you are in California, put pressure on your political representatives to pass that law, because that'll drastically change things for our industry. And I think it's going to give us a lot more pay equity across the board. My views on Midnight Simon. Simon's awesome. I love Simon. Simon's a great dude to go watch. I watched him after his first phone call at Google, but before like the actual like on-site interviews. Hung out on his stream a bunch. Yeah, really, really good dude. Glad that he got that job at Google. He put in a ton of effort. And I love that he's like streaming again and just keeping those skills sharp and helping other people understand things and just sharing his perspectives and things like that. I think it's fantastic. I think Simon is a good example of what it means to like sort of had that humility of I can do a thing and I'm going to show other people how to do that thing. Good example of like sharing that knowledge and like talking through things and so on. So yeah, go check out Midnight Simon. It's a good channel. That said, I don't know Simon personally. I only know him from his stream. Yeah, back when he had a physical chalkboard, if you subscribed or followed him, I think if you subscribed, he would like write your name on a chalkboard. He'd like pull at a bunch of different colors of chalk and be like, what color of chalk do you want me to write your name on this chalkboard? So you would go behind him and write your name on a chalkboard. That was a lot of fun. Now he's doing it all digitally, I guess, with subs and gift subs and stuff like that. But yeah, really good dude. So Bet's asked a question, do I know of any job openings or companies that are open to hiring people without a GED or diploma who are disabled to work from home? That's a good question. There's a little bit to unpack in there. I don't know personally of job posts, so I tend not to just browse job posts. Instead, I help people sort of like, this is what to say, this is how to sort of present yourself. And I think a lot of that comes to how you show your value to the company. What I would not do is highlight things that they could see as negatives. So I would say like a lot of job posts, if they say you must have like a degree, I would say apply anyway. If you have work experience that shows you can do the job, then it shouldn't matter whether you have a GED or a diploma or whether you've gone to a university. If you can do the job, you should be able to get interviewed and get that job if you can prove you can do the job. If you have disabilities, that's a little bit different, but I wouldn't bring that up as part of the application process. I would wait for the first phone call and say, hey, we want to schedule this interview. Then you can write them back and say, hey, I need accommodation for such and such, like a vision problem or a hearing problem, or I don't type very quickly because I have a disability in my arm or something like that. You can ask for accommodation at that point. They are not allowed to discriminate against you for that. In fact, a lot of job applications nowadays will actually explicitly ask, and they ask on the application, do you have a disability? But that doesn't go into the consideration of the applicant tracking system where they say, like, go find me a Python developer. They can't say, go find me a Python developer who doesn't have a disability. It's just, they're going to say, find me a Python developer, and your application could show up, and then they're going to sort of read through that, scan through that, and then decide whether to call you. And at that point, they are not allowed to discriminate against you. So I wouldn't present that up front and say, I'm a disabled programmer, blah, blah, blah. I would just say, I'm a programmer. Not that you're hiding it, but you don't want them to bias against you before they start talking to you. As soon as they start talking to you, they can't bias against that. And you can simply say at that point, I need an accommodation because I have a disability in my arm or in my eyesight or something like that. And you can ask for that accommodation at that point. That's how I would sort of face that. But from an aspect of the education point of view, I would say, like, unless you're looking for like a low level programmer job or like a back-end job where scalability is a thing, you probably don't need a computer science degree. In fact, I would wager that unless you're actually building tooling, like you're building a database or you're building a compiler or you're building out a framework, you probably also don't need a computer science degree. It will be helpful, yes, but it is not a requirement for most jobs in the tech industry these days. With high-level languages, high-level frameworks doing a lot of that work for you, the computer science people are building those tools. You're just an application developer utilizing those tools to make an application, and for that you don't need to have a CS degree most of the time. So I would say go apply for that job anyway, and don't worry about not having a GED or diploma. If it comes up, be honest about it. If they do ask what kind of education you have, you can be honest. You can say, I'm a self-taught developer. These are the projects that I've done, or, I studied this curriculum online. I did some Udemy courses or Coursera or Free Code Camp, like whatever that is. And just say, that's my education. So you don't have to say like, well, I don't have a GED. I never graduated high school. Like, you don't have to tell them that. Unless they specifically ask and they say, do you have a GED? You can say no. But I would probably phrase it as no, but I'm working towards it or something like that. So you want to make it sound like you're willing to go do it if that is a requirement. But again, they can't discriminate based on your education either. So I would say just don't highlight it. Like, don't make that part of your sort of brand of like, I'm a disabled programmer who doesn't have a GED. Like, you don't want to call yourself that, because then they're going to discriminate against you just seeing that. And so just say, I'm a developer. These are the projects that I've done. And if they ask about it, be honest, but you don't have to sort of present that up front. G&D has unlurked. Good to have you back. Let me go grab this dragon right here behind me. So I want to show this one off. This is the rainbow sparkle filament that I posted those pictures on Twitter. In the meantime, go do !dragon. We got 17 people in chat, and we have 7 people in the drawing. So I'm giving these things away for free. I'm going to give away 2 of them on stream, plus 1 to a subscriber to my email series. You can go check out that link over here. And it's a daily email for 6 weeks about job prep and interview prep in the tech industry. You can go check that out. It's a double opt-in, so when you give me your email address, it'll send you an email with a link. You have to click on that link to actually be subscribed, and then tomorrow you'll start getting your first emails. And it's 1 email every day for 6 weeks. You can unsubscribe anytime. You can reply to any message to get directly to my inbox if you've got questions about things. I'm happy to provide help and input. And if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn as well, I'm happy to make introductions for folks. So go check out go check that out. I'm Ian Douglas 736 on LinkedIn. Basically, you can go connect with me there. Don't just follow me on LinkedIn. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and then I'm happy to make introductions. I've got some other links on there as well. I think I have. Yeah, I did. Cool. I made an introductions thing over here. So here's a little like snippet that you can go read on how to use your connection on LinkedIn to know, does Ian know anybody at Microsoft that he can introduce me to? Here's some instructions on how to go do that. So whoever you're connected with on LinkedIn, this will give you instructions on how to go through their profile to find people at companies. Now, it's not going to say like, who does Ian know that's hiring a junior developer? But it'll be, does Ian know anybody at GitHub? Does Ian know anybody at Google? Does Ian know anybody at whatever company? You can go filter on that using these instructions. And I'm happy to make introductions for folks. Let me go grab this dragon. So this is a dark rainbow filament. Do I have a light rainbow filament? I don't have any light rainbow filaments at the moment, but this is a really nice dark rainbow filament. And you can kind of see on the camera, there's a bit of a glitter in there. The glitter is kind of like a light blue glitter coming through on there, and this is a fantastic filament. I really, really like this. It's almost a little bit translucent, like it's almost a little bit see-through. I love the tail on it though. The tail came out like just really amazing. Like it started printing this sort of like blue cyan color, and again you can see the nice sparkle in there, but just the shading of how that color transitioned as it went layer by layer and printed that up looks really, really cool. So I've got another one printing right now on the printer. It started in the dark blue, went to the green, went to the yellow, actually kind of the purple blue, went to green, went to yellow. So you can go check that out on MakerDeck. It's going to take a little while yet to print, and so if you are the recipient of the giveaway, you're going to get to choose which style of dragon. So again, we have the Imperial Dragon or we have the regular dragon. And then based on which one you choose, you're going to get to choose the color. So go ahead and hit !dragon. That command is right under my picture here in chat, right over here. So type !dragon in the chat. Get in the giveaway. I'm sending these around the world. Magnificent username guy, how's it going? I mailed off your dragons yesterday. And so they're going to be going to a coworker in Germany who is then going to distribute them to you from there. It was a lot cheaper that way. So sending these packages over to Europe was going to cost me $50 to $70 per package. And these boxes are just like little 6-inch boxes or 150 millimeter boxes. It was going to cost me $50 to $70 per box to send those over to Europe. I was able to send a much larger box to Germany for $80 and put all those other little boxes inside of it. And then my coworker is going to distribute them because sending packages within Europe is only like €5. And so, which is, it's a little more than $5 US. So it's going to be way cheaper to like send one giant box over there. So that's what I did. So I mailed those out yesterday. So depending on when he receives that box, he's also like taking a vacation soon. So I'm hoping it gets to him before he goes to vacation. But if not, it'll be a couple of weeks before he returns from vacation. Then he's going to mail them out to Norway and Finland, Estonia, and there's another one elsewhere in Germany and so on. So he's going to take care of distributing that once he gets back. But it is on the way. So just to let you know that, magnificent username guy, I appreciate the support and the extra donation that you made to the Diversity in Tech fundraiser. So I appreciate that. Cool. So Squirrel Master's pulling up some other stuff here. So I do have some videos on YouTube if you want to reduce that LeetCode grind. It's just how to study a little smarter as opposed to just grinding on LeetCode over and over and over. Hey, Abraham, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Give you some blinky lights and some sort of sound effect in the background. But appreciate the follows. So yeah, so you can go check out that video. So I've got 2 videos on LeetCode. One of them is how to sort of study different kinds of problems every day, and the second one is how do you reverse engineer other people's answers to come up with pseudocode so that you can study the strategies behind how to solve different kinds of technical challenges during these interviews. So you can definitely go check those out. I do have some podcast audio that hasn't been updated since last December. Part of what I've been building here, you've been seeing these little markers showing up in chat as I answer questions. And those markers are going to allow me to clip out audio samples and little video samples to get back into making short YouTube videos as well as the podcast audio. So I'm in the process right now of preparing all of that. I still have to finish writing the code in my chatbot to basically take those markers and actually go clip the video. I've got the code to actually clip the video and clip the audio and put it together. What I need to do is get those clip times into a database. And I'm like this close to like finishing that because I'm changing how the database stuff is going to work. Once I get that done, then all the clips and stuff will be ready to go. And then I just have to upload all those to YouTube and my podcast audio. And then those will start going back out to the podcast. But there's still like 50 or 60 episodes, maybe more on the podcast right now. So you can definitely go check those out. And they're only a couple of minutes long. And it's basically me taking a question from chat like we've done today, where it's like, had a question in chat, this is what it is, here's my answer. And that's all it is for that podcast audio. So they're very quick to kind of go through. I appreciate any subscriptions to that. Doesn't make me any money whatsoever on the podcast. I'm just here to do this for free. So I've been really transparent about that. I don't stream to make money, but any money that I do get is going into a fundraiser that I'm basically running for Diversity in Tech. And we've raised close to $2,000. I'm really hoping we can hit that $2,000 mark. This progress bar down here is not accurate. We got about $200 to go. So if we can raise $200 by Tuesday, it's going to put us at an even $2,000 to give to this group in late June. And then I found out from work that they are going to match $1,500 per calendar year for whatever donation I make. So when I write them a check for that money, I can also get my employer to match $1,500 of that money. So it's going to increase that quite a bit for them. So I'm excited. I'm actually going to meet them in person in San Francisco in June on the 24th and actually get to give them that donation and say, oh, by the way, my employer is going to give you even more money on top of that. So pretty excited to meet with them about that. So yeah, so feel free to enter that giveaway. You don't have to be a follower or subscriber to enter this giveaway. I'm literally just giving them away. So I mean, I appreciate the follows, but yeah, I give advice like this on the channel all the time. So I stream twice a week. This month I've been streaming a lot more than twice a week, just because we've been doing the giveaway, and I've been really excited to give these dragons away to folks, and just kind of raise awareness about this diversity in tech. So once this giveaway is over, I'm basically going to be resetting all of so I'm going to continue raising money through June. So I'm hoping that by the end of June, we'll have like all that money wrapped up. And then July 1st, I'm basically resetting all those counts, and we're going to start another fundraiser. It's probably also going to go to diversity in tech. I'm pretty certain it's going to be another diversity in tech, but it'll be a different group. And we'll start that, and then we'll do like another, some kind of 3D printing giveaway, October, November kind of time frame. I may do it in October. I was thinking November. I may do it in October just so that shipping can, get to folks by holiday time, if folks want to give things away as gifts. So I'm already starting to think through like what kinds of things would make good holiday gifts, and what could I 3D print and give away like a little bundle of something and fit in those 6-inch boxes, and get those mailed out to people. So. Do I have any knowledge on MLMs or direct sales? What kind of knowledge are you looking for there? So I've seen like MLMs and I've seen direct sales. I tried buying into one of these like multi-level things like years and years and years ago, but I'm gonna do snakes. So the guy that makes the Magaibeer dragon, he actually makes a snake, which is actually really neat. And one of them, I think, is actually a rattlesnake. And so as it 3D prints, it like drops little bits of filament. And then when you pick it up and shake it, it actually rattles. And it's all internal, so it doesn't come out. Vinan, good to see you. Thanks for dropping by chat. So as far as MLMs, like I did buy into an MLM, but I guess if you could give me a little more context, need more coffee? Give me a little more context on your question and what you're asking. I'm happy to provide perspective if I can, but I may not be able to. You ordered a snake? Awesome. When is it time to walk away from one? Depending on the MLM and the direct sales kind of thing. My wife was into Mary Kay for a little while. I bought into this one. It was kind of like a health drink thing for a while. And you have to really look at how they're structured to understand, like, is this actually benefiting someone, or is it benefiting the people above me? A lot of MLMs, they're like, we're going to put you down like the left side of the binary tree kind of thing, but you only make money if they put people down the right side to balance things out, because then you're getting income from everybody under you and blah, blah, blah. But I think a lot of them, the people that make the most money on those things are the people that start them. So the earlier you can get in on them, the more money you're going to make. But if you get in on them much, much later, you make very little money, because most of that money filters up top. So me personally, I won't buy into those anymore. But I think a lot of people see those things as like a get-rich-quick kind of scheme, and they very, very rarely ever make anybody any money. You end up having to buy stuff and sort of stock that inventory yourself so that you can turn around and sell it, and then you either end up using it yourself or just throwing it away because it expires or something like that. It's not worth it most of the time. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. Yeah, when is it time to walk away from one? Most of the time. Yeah, I agree. Cool. Well, let's do the first giveaway, and then I do want to grab a couple of anonymous questions from Discord. So you're welcome to go hang out with us on Discord as well. I'm gonna go grab like 1 or 2 anonymous questions over there. We'll answer those, and then we'll do a second giveaway. So do Bang Dragon, and if you aren't selected, the way that I wrote my giveaway bot is I can reopen it. So if you're in the giveaway, you don't have to like, oh, he's starting it all over, I need to re-enter. Once you're in for today's session, and so you don't have to worry about like losing out for the second giveaway. But you will need to be here in chat, because I do need to know which style of dragon you want, and then based on the style, which color you want, and then we'll go do a couple of anonymous questions, and then we'll come back, we'll do another giveaway. So with the dragons, I will need your full name and a mailing address of where you want me to send it. And again, these are going anywhere in the world at my expense, so you don't have to do anything with that. And if you would like to donate to the Diversity in Tech Fund, I have been given written permission by the person who developed the Magaibeer dragon. So this dragon here, I've been given written permission by MacGyver that if you donate $10 or more to the Diversity in Tech fundraiser, I can send you a dragon. So to be clear, you're not buying a dragon from me, but if you would like to contribute to the Diversity in Tech fundraiser, I would greatly appreciate that, and so would everybody that's receiving that money. You can, I think you can do bang PayPal in chat, and you'll see my PayPal info. There's also on the website, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link on there. You can go either of those routes, and let me know what color of dragon you would like. So if you do bang dragons plural, you'll see a photo album of the dragons, and I can basically print a dragon in any of those colors for you. Those will go out after the end of the month, but I will get those out if you donate. And again, you're not buying a dragon because the $10 minimum donation doesn't even cover the plastic, the print time, or the shipping. It costs $10 just to ship the dragon, much less actually print with the plastic and the print time and the electricity and stuff like that. So, but all that money is going into a pool, and then I am matching all of the money in that pool. So we've raised a little over $800, almost $900 now, and so we got about $200 more to raise to get us to that $2,000 amount by the time I match that money, and then all that money is going to Diversity in Tech. On the stream on Thursday, we had somebody come in and started criticizing the Diversity in Tech giveaway. And so I tweeted a little thread about, what happened there and why I banned them from the channel. It was the first time I had to ban somebody. And they were basically putting words in my mouth saying like, oh, you're talking bad about white guys in tech, and why do you want less white guys in tech? And I never said any of that. The idea of the Diversity in Tech fundraiser is that I want more diversity in tech. And this person was basically saying, well, that's like saying you want less, black people in the NFL. And it's like, well, development jobs and jobs in the tech industry, it's not what we call a zero-sum game where there's a finite number of jobs. There are more jobs right now than there are qualified people to take those jobs. So by raising up diversity, we have more viewpoints, we have more experiences, we have more perspectives for the people that are writing and using the software that we build. And so the idea of Diversity in Tech is that we're making more people available for those jobs instead of just white men in tech, which we are very overrepresented right now. And so the reason that I banned them is because they were using very divisive kind of language and basically stating things that weren't true, as though I were saying that I want less white men in tech. It's not what I'm saying at all. There's room for a lot of people in tech. But the Diversity in Tech fundraiser is specifically to raise up diversity in the tech industry, which is badly needed. That's the whole idea of the fundraiser. So after that happened Thursday night, I went through and I was kind of reflecting on my thoughts, and I tweeted out a bunch of Twitter messages about that you can go read. But I wanted to be really clear about what the Diversity in Tech Fund is all about. It's not that I want to somehow reduce the number of non-diverse people in the tech industry. It's just I want to raise up more diverse people in the tech industry because there's opportunity. There's way more jobs than there are people. And I just want to fill those jobs with more diverse talent and more diverse perspectives and viewpoints on things because it's going to help make our technology better. So thanks for letting me describe all of that and sort of explain a little bit of what happened on Thursday. But that's why I banned that person on Thursday, because they were starting to say stuff in chat that just wasn't true, and trying to kind of put words in my mouth to some degree. Like I wasn't saying that I want less white men in tech. I just want I want other people in tech to sort of balance out all the white men in tech. Is basically what I'm striving for here. And Bet says in chat that person wasn't nice. I mean, everybody's welcome to their opinion, and I want to be clear about that. Like, I love having people come in chat and share their opinions and share their perspectives, and sometimes we don't agree, but in that scenario, that was against what I stand for and against what I want in this channel. So when you come in and you join for the first time, it comes up with the little chat rules. We want to be supportive of everybody because there's room for everybody in tech. And so this person was also arguing, like, why not just say, like, everybody belongs in tech? Yeah, they do. But the Diversity in Tech fundraiser is specifically for diversity in tech because we need more of that. So yes, there's room for everybody in tech. But the fundraiser is specifically for diversity. So I appreciate everybody's support on that. If you want to donate, you can do !PayPal, or just go over to Tech Interview Guide. There's a link on the menu over there that says Buy Me a Coffee. And again, any donation over $10, I'm allowed to give you one of these dragons, and you can send me a message. So go take a look at that photo album up here that someone else, that Bets went and looked at. You can open that photo album, and any color that you see in there, I can print a dragon in most of those filaments. So just contact me, let me know which one you would like, and I'll get those printed off after the end of the month and get those shipped out. Hey, Blacksmith Pop, good to see you. Your dragon shipped out yesterday, so hopefully you'll get that sometime mid to late next week. Learn to agree to disagree. Yeah, I mean, we can agree to disagree on certain things, but there's a certain point where that the disagreement becomes unhealthy because of the things that somebody is saying. And that's why I ban them. And I'll probably go through and unban them at some point, because I want people to feel welcome in the channel and feel welcome to have perspectives and share those ideas here. But when it becomes toxic like that, that's where I draw the line and say, you know, and I said several times, like, you're welcome to leave, like, you can go now, and they didn't, so I banned them. So I'm willing to be patient to a point, but at some point I gotta cut folks off. So cool. Well, let's do this first giveaway, and then so last chance, do !Dragon. If you've already received a dragon, you can still enter. I'm just gonna ship it somewhere else. So give me an alternate address of where you'd like to send it, and I will send it elsewhere. So feel free to do that. We got 28 people viewing right now. We've got 9 entries. So 19 of you don't want a 3D printed dragon, which baffles me. Go ahead and type !Dragon in chat. I'm giving these away for free, and I'm shipping them anywhere in the world. And we have some really fun colors. We got bright pinks, we got rainbows, we got gold colors. I printed a new one in a different marble than I've done in the past. So this one is also a marble filament. You can see up close, it's got kind of that brown freckle in there. This one I do need to hit with a heat gun to kind of get these stringy little bits off of the dragon. I have a little heat gun that I kind of blast them with, and it gets rid of all the little wispy stuff. So do !Dragon, get in that giveaway. We're about to do the first giveaway, then we're going to do some anonymous questions from Discord, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do another giveaway. So if you're not chosen on this round, you've got a second round. And the first round recipient, I'm also going to ask you to give me a random number. And then I'm going to go draw that person out of my email database, and they're also going to get an email saying, hey, you've also been chosen as a recipient of this giveaway. Bang, rigged. Win the dragon. Oh, you knew the cheat code. Yeah, right. That gives Patrick like 1,000 entries into the thing. Yeah, the marble one's pretty cool. Also got this one. This filament is probably one of my favorites, and so it's a transition filament that goes through 3 different colors. There's a rusted gold and a charcoal. And when I started printing this dragon, it started printing on the gold. It went through the rust and then the black, and then I ran out of filament. And when I changed it over to another filament, it started with black and then went back to red. And so there's only a little bit of gold on its stomach, and the rest of it's kind of that charcoal rust kind of color. So we've got some really interesting sort of color blends and things like that that you get to choose from. And these are what I'm giving away for free. So do !Dragon. And then every box that I send out, I'm going to be sending at least 2 of these little ones as well. So I've got a couple of them in kind of this 2-tone blue. I've got some in the silk copper, and then this one is a temperature changing filament, which is green when it's cold, it's pink when it's warm, and it's yellow when it's hot. And so I'll be adding some of those to the boxes as they go out as well. Some of the boxes that I sent out yesterday, I added those in. So I think Magnificent Username Guy, I think you've got a couple of those in your box that went out. So yeah, so I've got a handful of these already printed up. You're going to get to choose from those today. And then everything else that I have left. So we're going to give away 2 in chat. We're going to give away one right now. We're going to give one away after a couple of anonymous questions from Discord. And then on Tuesday, I'm giving all of them away. Like all the rest that I have printed as of Tuesday night, I'm giving all those away. So definitely come hang out Tuesday night, because it's just going to be a dragon giveaway night. And we're just going to draw things, and I'll certainly be here for advice and ideas and perspectives and things like that. But Tuesday, like every dragon I have left is going to get given away Tuesday night. And we're just going to stay on the stream until I give them all away. So if you don't get one today, Tuesday is the opportunity where I get to play Oprah. It's like, you get a dragon, you get a dragon, you get a dragon. That's how my December giveaway happened last year. I had 12 of these dragons, and I was hyping it up the whole time, going, we're going to do a giveaway on this night. Come hang out. I got a dozen of these things. 12 people showed up. It was a bad time around the holidays. It was just a bad evening to have a stream. Literally 12 people showed up, and I'm like, everybody here gets a dragon. And I literally sent them off to everybody, and everybody got a dragon for the holidays. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen Tuesday. I hope more than like 6 or 7 of you show up on Tuesday. But every dragon that I have left on Tuesday is being given away Tuesday, and that's the end of the giveaway. And then through June, we'll continue raising money for the Diversity in Tech fundraiser. I won't be promoting it quite as heavily. And my intro music will be sort of back to normal. It won't be the Game of Thrones metal version, although it's a pretty rockin' tune. I enjoy it. We're up to 31 viewers. Get in that giveaway. Come on, folks. We got Bang G. We got 14 entries. We got more than double that viewing the channel right now. So yeah, slap some dragon stickers on here. We're going to do the first giveaway here right now. These stickers are free to throw online. So scroll down a little bit on the interface in the About section on Twitch. You'll see the stickers, and these dragon stickers are free. You'll hear the little dragon kind of thing popping up. So Betts knows what to do. Scrollmaster's throwing up some stickers. So get those dragon stickers up here. Let's see some hype in chat. We're going to give away the first dragon here. And so you will need to be present in chat because I need to know which style of dragon you want, and then from that, which color. And then we'll go do a couple of Discord questions, and we're going to do a second giveaway. So stay hanging out with us, and you'll kind of get a sample of like what I do here with Tech Interview Guide. So let's see some dragons. Let's see some hype. And we'll draw that first winner. I'm going to go collect a couple more dragons so that I can show you what's available to give away. The stickers are hard on mobile. Yeah. Sorry, I can't control that. I wish I had a better way of doing that. But throw some more stickers. I'll be right back.
Dragon. 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 Dragon.
And I will tell you up front, there are more MacGyver dragons than Imperial dragons. The Imperial Dragon model has been the most popular. And so I'm going to have a whole lot more of these MacGyver dragons than I will the Imperial dragons.
Dragon. 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 Dragon.
We got a hype sticker thrown on there too. Appreciate that. All right, well let's do this first giveaway, shall we? So again, if you are not selected as a recipient this round, just stay hanging out because my giveaway, I can reopen it and redraw winners, unlike the typical Stream Elements one where they have to start all over again, and only the people that are happen to hear the whole like, hey, enter again, they think to enter again. Mine, once you're in for the whole session. So I'll just reopen it and we'll redraw another recipient later. So the recipient right now, so you can see me here, the recipient right now, I'm also going to ask you for a random number. Give me a random number, and then I'm going to go find that person in my database. And then they are also going to receive this. So that's basically from this email series that I wrote. You can also go find out about that on Tech Interview Guide once those stickers clear. You can literally go to techinterview.guide in your browser, and it's a whole website of free advice. There's no ads, there's no catch, there's no gimmick on there. But the email series will ask for your email address, but that's the only information I ask about you. And when you get that last message, you get unsubscribed. I completely wipe your information out of my database. I don't remarket to anybody at all. So you can go check out that email series as well. That'll give you an extra opportunity to receive one of these dragons, at least until Tuesday. So go subscribe to that. You can unsubscribe at any time, but I do appreciate those that are giving me feedback as well. So some of you that have been subscribing are actually replying to the message going, hey, could you word this a little differently? Or, hey, what do you think about such and such? And I use all that feedback to go in and refine that text over time. And so I've actually had a lot of people resubscribe to the email series over time because I do go back and I do rewrite and revamp that information over time. Cool. Let's... It's all good. Needs more coffee. It's all good. We need more dragons. That's also what we need. So we're gonna do the first giveaway now. Then we're gonna do a question or two from Discord, and then we'll do another giveaway. So thanks for hanging out. We've got over 30 people viewing right now. So get in that giveaway. If you have not done !dragon, go do that right now. We still only got 14 entries. So there's a whole bunch of you lurking that don't want a dragon. If you've already received a dragon, you can re-enter. Just tell me where else you want me to send it. Because I'm only sending one per household, but feel free to gift it to someone else in chat. Feel free to gift it to someone else that you know that would like a dragon. So if you've already received a dragon, you can still re-enter. I'm only sending one per household though. All right, well let's do the first giveaway here. Hey, Icky Toad, thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Our first winner is Blacksmith Pop. So Blacksmith Pop received a dragon already, and they've won the giveaway again. So Blacksmith Pop, I will ask you to send me either an alternate address of where you want me to send a dragon, or you can choose somebody in chat. So you can, in Twitch, you can go see like who else is hanging out in chat right now, or you can just kind of scroll up and pick a name, and you're welcome to choose that. So tell me first, Blacksmith Pop, are you going to give me an alternate address, or do you want to choose somebody in chat to receive this dragon? So Blacksmith Pop. So that's the first one. And if you decide you're going to send it to somebody else, then I'll need you to choose the style and the color. If you're going to re-gift it to someone else, then that other person will get to choose. So we'll wait for Blacksmith Pop a few more seconds to respond. If they don't respond, we're going to redraw. Not seeing anything yet, so Blacksmith Pop, if you're there, they will have the opportunity to gift it to someone else in chat, or to give me an alternate address, and we'll go from there. There we go, alternate address, okay, for your other daughter, awesome. So Blacksmith Pop then. Blacksmith Pop. We'll give away another one too. So Blacksmith Pop, I need you to choose Imperial Dragon or regular dragon. And then from there, I'll show you some colors, and then you can choose from there. And then we'll draw another one right now, and then we'll do a question, then we'll give away another one. We'll give away 3 today. How's that sound? Cool. So Blacksmith Pop, let me know with a style. G&D, did I already answer your earlier question? That's a good question. Of what was your question? We had a whole bunch of stuff going on with stickers. Let me scroll up while Blacksmith Pop. Okay, so Blacksmith Pop wants another Imperial. So I have rainbow, gold, and two-tone blue. So I have the rainbow glitter one. I have gold, which is this nice dark brown gold. Or I have this one in the two-tone blue. Those are the only ones I have printed right now in the Imperial. I've got some on the printer right now. I've got another rainbow one printing. I've got the temperature color changing one. And then I've got one in a dark sparkle blue, but those are going to take a little while to finish printing. So those are the only ones I have printed at the moment. I have the gold, the rainbow, or the two-tone blue. So let me know which of those you would like, or if you want one of those other ones, and then we'll go from there. We're going to draw another name right now too. So rainbow, okay. So rainbow, glitter, Imperial. All right, so go ahead and send me the name and address of where you want that one shipped, and then I'm going to draw another winner right now. How long does it take to print one? Anywhere from 24 to 40 hours, depending on the quality and the filament. Some of them I print a little bit slower for the quality. G&D, maybe post your question again, just in case I didn't get to it. And we're going to draw another winner right now, and then we're going to go do a Discord question, then we'll do one more giveaway. So, do another winner right now. That winner is... Need more coffee. Need more coffee, Princess. Need more coffee, Princess. You are the recipient of a 3D printed dragon. There you are. All right, so you're also going to get to choose Imperial Dragon or regular dragon. I do have a second Rainbow Dragon printing right now. It's going to be done... The next Rainbow Dragon is going to be done in about 9 hours. And when you joined, you said good evening. So I'm assuming you're in Europe or Asia. And so it'll, it's going to take some time to like box that up anyway. So if you want the rainbow one, I have another rainbow one printing right now. I also have the gold which is a nice dark gold color, or I have this two-tone blue, which is blue and with a light blue in there as well. If you want the, oh, you're in Indiana? Okay, you said good evening, so I assumed it was evening wherever you were, that you were maybe overseas. So I have these three in the Imperial one. You want the two-tone blue? All right, you got it. The two-tone blue and the rainbow. I'm going to set these aside right now so I don't mix them up later. Sorry for all the extra noise in the background. So I need more coffee. You want the Imperial, two-tone blue. All right, so stick around in chat. Don't bail on me. We're going to give away one more. We're going to go grab like an anonymous question out of Discord. We're going to answer that. G&D was trying to remember their own chat message. I wish I had a way to like filter my own chat. Let me scroll. Just want to see if I can find your question, because I can scroll back in OBS quite a ways. I can't even scroll back far enough to see it. Yeah, sorry, G&D. If you happen to think of it, drop it in chat again, and I can let you know whether we answered it or not. Usually say evening because I don't know the time for all the streamers. Yeah, no worries. Cool. Yeah. Well, I'm excited that you were the recipient as well. And again, you're going to get some of these little mini dragon figurines in the box as well. I've got some in the two-tone blue and the copper. Since you wanted the two-tone blue dragon, I'll give you the temperature changing one and the copper one as well. They'll be fun. And then for the rainbow one, maybe I'll do the two-tone blue and the copper or something like that for Blacksmith Pop. Blacksmith Pop, by the way, has a great channel. They're doing blacksmithing on the stream, or on their stream. So definitely go give Blacksmith Pop a follow. Let's see. I forget if I build a shout out or not. So shout out to Blacksmith Pop. Is that gonna work? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, go give them a follow. They do blacksmithing online. It's pretty neat to watch. Solar 3DP, good to see you. I'm going to reopen the giveaway. So the giveaway is now reopened. So Solar 3DP, you can re-enter. I'm going to go grab an anonymous question out of Discord. We're going to answer that, and then we're going to do another giveaway. So hang out with us. There's still 30 of you in there. There's still a lot of you that have not entered the giveaway. We've still only got we had 14 entries, but one of them, a couple of folks won, and so now we'll be back up to 14. So yeah, if you're hanging out and viewing the channel, do !dragon in chat, and you'll be in the giveaway. All right, let's go grab a question here. So if you want to go hang out with us on Discord, I do have a whole channel on Discord that's just for anonymous questions. So questions that I find or questions that I get asked, I add to that channel, and then I draw from those to talk about on the stream. And so I'm just going to go grab one of these kind of at random. Ultimately, I kind of want to like put these in a database of some kind where I can just tell the bot like, hey, just go find like a random anonymous question, and it'll like bring that up for us. Also, if you want to ask a question anonymously, some people are not comfortable asking a question in chat. So here's some instructions here. You can basically send a whisper to the bot, and it will sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a sec. You can send a whisper to the bot, and it'll show up in chat as an anonymous question. So you can, if you want to be anonymous and say like, oh, I got a question, but I don't want my name attached to it. You can just send a whisper to the ID 736 bot, and it'll show up in chat here. Third time's a charm for the new filament you tried printing a dragon with. So, I mean, the rainbow filament, if that's what you're asking, Magnificent Username Guy. I did have a couple of failures with this one. The dark purple color jams the nozzle. And so, like, starting a print with the dark purple was problematic. But once we got past that, it printed fine. But I did have a couple of print failures with that. Cool, let's go find an anonymous question here. I'm just going to kind of pick one. Here's a good one. So I'm going to drop it in chat, and then we'll kind of get going from here. All right, so we had an anonymous question in Discord, and basically that question was, should I offer to work for free for a company to evaluate my skills to convince them to hire me? In today's day and age, in today's market, and again, this is kind of mid 2022, depending on when you're watching this video or listening to this audio, I think the market is in a position where you don't need to do anything for free. People should pay you for your time. You should get paid what you're worth. Should you offer to work for free to evaluate your skills? I think most companies are going to be set up in a way to have like a probationary period or some sort of trial period. Some companies will actually hire you as a contractor for a period of time before they hire you full-time as an employee, just to see if it's going to work out. So I don't think you need to work for free. I don't think you need to give away your time for free. I think everybody should be paid what they're worth, and everybody should be paid the same amount of money based on the skill that they have and the experience that they have. So no, I don't think you should offer to work for free. Some people feel that they need to do that to sort of stand out and differentiate themselves, and I don't think that you need to do that. Free Heathen with a raid. Appreciate the raid of 11 viewers. Appreciate that very much. Free Heathen has a dragon on the way to them. Thanks for hanging out with us, for sure. Give you some blinky lights here too. So Free Heathen is also a streamer. They do a lot of cosplay armor and some 3D printing as well. So appreciate the raid. Thank you so much. We're about to do another, like the last one for the day of our 3D printed dragons. And Free Heathen has one on the way to them in Canada. So looking forward to having you receive that, and whether you unbox it on your stream or just post pictures, looking forward to seeing what you think of it. But yeah, appreciate the raid. Thanks for dropping by. So I was answering an anonymous question in Discord at the moment, so you can go join our Discord community if you like, and you can DM me questions on LinkedIn, Twitter, Discord, any of the places. You can email me as well through the website techinterview.guide. If you've got questions about interview prep or career prep, I'm happy to take those questions, and I anonymize them. If you want to ask a question anonymously, you can also send a whisper over to my chat bot over here. Send a whisper to the bot and it'll show up in chat as an anonymous question. I love to make people feel like they can ask a question safely. So the question that we were asking from Discord is, should I offer to work for free for a company to evaluate my skills? And I was basically saying in today's market, you shouldn't work for free. Some people feel that they have to do that to differentiate themselves, or to say like, hey, let me prove myself, especially if they don't have like a computer science degree and the job requires a computer science degree. I think go apply for that job anyway. Most jobs in the tech industry right now do not require a computer science degree, so go apply for the job anyway. So I also don't agree with working for free. I think you should get paid for your time. You should get paid for what you're worth. And a lot of companies, as part of their application process, they're going to have you work on a little bit of software for free anyway as part of that application process. There are also companies out there that will actually pay you to work on that software for free, even as part of the evaluation process. They're kind of few and far between. It's not a common practice, but there are companies that'll say like, hey, we want you to do this take-home assignment. It's going to take you several days to do, and so we're going to pay you $200 or $300, whatever. And sometimes that's negotiable with the company as well, depending on what it is they're asking you to do. And so you can always ask the company like, hey, are you paying me for my time to work on this? Some of them will say no, but you can basically evaluate from there whether it's worth your time, whether you really want that job. But as far as like, should I offer to do like an entire like feature or something like that for a company and work for free? No, don't do it. I think you should get paid some amount of money for your time, even if it's like $25-$30 an hour or something like that. You can have a company pay you for your time to work on any little feature to evaluate those skills. And as I mentioned, a lot of companies are going to have some kind of evaluation period anyway. Most companies will say like, hey, you got to do like 90 days or something, and that 90 days is kind of a evaluation period where we can let you go. A lot of states in the United States, at least, you work on something which is what we call what's the term? I just lost my train of thought. At will employment. We call it at will employment, which means you can quit for any time, for any reason or no reason. You can give notice or no notice. The same way they can let you go for any reason or no reason, with or without notice. So that probationary period, that time period, really doesn't make sense either for companies that say, well, we'll hire you as a contractor for 90 days. And if it works out, then we'll convert you to a full-time employee. All they're trying to do there is avoid taxes and avoid paying your benefits. So there are things that you can kind of sort of pay attention to there to kind of screen out. But I would say for the most part, get paid for what you're worth. Don't offer to work for free. I think you can certainly come up with project ideas that will stand out to the company to differentiate you and kind of get their attention and see the quality of the kind of work that you can produce without having to resort to working for free, because you're putting that time and effort in. You've had some training, you've spent time building up that skill. You should get paid for that skill. Cool. Let's scroll back up in chat here from the raid. So yeah, Free Heathen, again, appreciate the raid. Go ahead and type !dragon in the chat if you want a free 3D printed dragon. We're about to draw another giveaway winner. Blacksmith Pop, I also need you to give me another random number. Let's do a random number between like 12 and 40. So give me a random number between 12 and 40, and I'm going to go send an email to that person in my email database. So again, if you want to subscribe to that email series, we're going to do one last giveaway blitz on Tuesday. So if you don't get a dragon like right now, Tuesday I'm going to be giving away every dragon I have left. So Tuesday night will be like the massive dragon giveaway blowout. But Blacksmith Pop, if you're still in chat, I do need a random number from, let's say, 12 to 40. And then I will go email that person from my email series, and they're also going to be the recipient of a giveaway. Let's see what else happened in chat. Carl Felton says, I volunteer at a charity in my local town. Well, volunteering for charity time is different. You can actually claim that on your taxes. That's different. If you want to like donate your time to a charitable cause and do some work for that and put that as a project on your resume, that's fine. But what this question was specifically asking is like, I want a job at a particular company, but I offer to work for free for that company. And I would say, no, don't offer to work for free for a company that could be paying you. That's basically what I'm saying. Don't work for free. Anybody who wants you to work for free is a toxic environment that doesn't value time. Potentially, yep. They could be taking advantage of you for sure. What's the best type of cheese? Best type of cheese. I'm a big fan of like aged white cheddar or like mild like orange cheddar. I like Swiss cheese. I don't like blue cheese. I'm not a fan of blue cheese. Hey, Mad Cat, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Yeah, there's lots of different kinds of cheese. So what's the next one? What are some unwritten rules of where we work? Unwritten rules. What are some unwritten rules? I mean, we don't specifically say anywhere like support one another and help each other out, but that is a pretty common thing to happen in the tech industry of like help everybody out, share knowledge, and help other people around you grow. Hey, Bag of Chips 68, appreciate that follow as well. Let's see, what else we got going on here? Bang Dragon, cool. We got a handful of folks. So Blacksmith Pop said number 23. Thanks for that. I will go notify user number 23. Sweet. All right. Well, let's see how we're doing on this giveaway here. We got 15 entries. We got 30 people in chat. We only have 15 entries, so half of you don't want these cool 3D printed dragons. Check these things out. I've got multi-tone color filaments. I've got cool filaments like marble filaments. I've got this cool new like glittery rainbow filament, which looks really cool. You can see a bit of the glitter on his chin if I can get him to turn around here on the camera. You can see the glitter on his chin there. I've got some pictures on my Twitter account. You can go follow me on Twitter if you want. Same username as here on Twitch. So yeah, I've got a number of things printing. If you go check out MakerDeck, my printers are up on MakerDeck, I think. Still going on MakerDeck right now. I've got one more printing in the rainbow glitter filament. I've got one in a temperature changing filament. So it's yellow when it's hot, it's pink when it's warm, and it's kind of this grayish green color when it's cool. And so that one's pretty fun. And then the last printer is printing the dark sparkle blue from Polymaker, which they don't make anymore. So it's a very rare filament. I gave away a dark sparkle green one on a previous stream, and I'm doing one in the dark sparkle blue. So the rainbow filament dragon's going to be done in about 9 hours. The color temperature changing one is going to be done in just a couple of hours. The dark sparkle blue one will probably finish later tonight. So feel free to do Bang Dragon, get in that giveaway. And if you have previously received a dragon from me, you can still re-enter. So Need More Coffee Princess just re-entered the giveaway. You just have to give me a second address. So Just as a reminder for Blacksmith Pop and Need More Coffee, I need you to send me a whisper on Twitch with your full name and a shipping address. I don't need your phone number, I don't need your email, but I do need a full name and I do need a full mailing address of where to send these. If you are domestic, I will try to get these out to the post office right after the holiday weekend, because Monday is a holiday here, but I will get them boxed up at least over the weekend. Well, I mean, the weekend's almost over now, but I will get them boxed up and get them over to the post office hopefully by Wednesday. You should get it by maybe Saturday, maybe Monday next week. You can give it to your dad. He loves watching all the stuff we print. Awesome. That'd be great. Bang, bang, Dragon Gang. Yep. Do I have any green? Not currently printed, but if you do want to donate, I can 3D print the Magaibeer Dragon for you. I have more of the dark sparkle green. I have light lime green. I have kind of medium tones of green. So yeah, I can make them in green. I currently don't have any. Free Heathen was also asking for one in green, and the closest one I had at the time was kind of like an antique bronze, which is kind of like a greenish bronze color. So that one's on its way to Canada. But I do have like just green. I can show you some of those colors if you're interested. But to kind of custom print a particular color, I would ask that you donate to my Diversity in Tech fundraiser that's going on. I'm hoping to raise like another like $200 ideally by the end of June, so that it'll kind of even everything out at $2,000 to give to that group at the end of June in San Francisco. And so, you know, the big push with the giveaways to like try to wrap this up by Tuesday, but I am going to continue with the fundraiser through June. And then July 1st, we're going to reset all of that back to zero, and we're going to start a whole new fundraiser, still for Diversity in Tech, but it's going to go to a different group, and we'll be tracking all of that. You can do Bang Money in chat, and you can see a link to my webpage where I'm doing like full transparency over here's how much I'm making from subscribers, here's how much I'm making from ads, donations, bits, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to cheer, you want to sub, you want to throw gift subs, totally cool with that. All of that money is going into this pot, and I'm matching all of that money to go out in June. So we're close to $2,000 raised so far. How do you donate? You can do Bang PayPal, and you can donate over PayPal, or you can go through the website Tech Interview Guide. There's a Buy Me a Coffee link on there. And when you send me money through those channels, just let me know what color of dragon you would like, because Magaibeer has given me written permission that if you donate to the Diversity in Tech fundraiser, I can give you a dragon. So to be clear, you're not buying a dragon from me. You're donating to the fundraiser, and I'm sending you a dragon as a thank you. So just to be clear about that. And I've got lots of really fun filaments. If you do Bang Dragons, plural, in chat, you'll see a Google photo album with all the different colors that I can print. And so you can, if you do choose to donate, which I greatly appreciate, you can basically go check out that photo album, and then in your message say, I want a dragon in this particular color. I've got marble filaments, rainbow filaments. I've got like these 3-tone color changing filaments. I've got 2-tone color changing filaments. I got like red silver, red gold, purple gold. I've got the 3-tone one. I've got the 2-tone blue. I've got the color temperature changing one. I've got glow in the dark filaments, stuff like that. Speaking of glow in the dark filament, I do have a discard that failed right at the last moment. So this is the Magaibeer Dragon. This is what the Magaibeer Dragon is supposed to look like. This guy failed printing the horns at the very, very end of the print. And so these last couple of horns here didn't quite print everything, and then the horns on the top of his head didn't finish. But this is a really cool filament. It's kind of a translucent gray, but it glows in the dark with a green sparkle. So if you would like this one, you're welcome to have this one. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of keep it as an example of like what this filament is. But he doesn't have horns. I may try and 3D print the horns and see if I can like weld them on top here. But otherwise, this guy has no horns on the top of his head. But this is a possibility if you would like this one. Just know he doesn't have horns, and it does look a little ragged on the top, but I'll try and smooth that out. If you do want the glow-in-the-dark sparkle one, that is a possibility as well. Cool. Can you have that? Sure. If you win the giveaway, you can have it. The color of it is really neat, so you can go check that out in the photo album. It's kind of a medium translucent gray, so you can kind of see through it a little bit, but in the dark it glows with a green sparkle, which looks really, really cool. I've got some neat pictures of that in that photo album that you can go check out. Boss Chopster has a question in chat, so we'll take a look at that here real quick. Just want to scroll back through chat, see if I missed anything else. What does the group you're donating do with the funds they receive? That's a great question, Raleigh. I appreciate you asking. So one of the things that I did is I did my due diligence on like looking through different groups who are raising diversity in tech and looking at how they spend their money. So they need to be a registered 501(c) charitable organization in the United States who publish their statistics and their taxes and stuff like that online, so I can actually review how they're using that money. And it's basically a code school in San Francisco who is specifically targeting diverse people from diverse backgrounds and underprivileged backgrounds to learn how to be software developers and then getting them jobs in the tech industry. So that's this specific group, and it's called hackthehood.org. You can go see that on the if you do Bang Money, you'll see the link to that page, and there's a link from there over to their organization. And so you can go check them out as well. So I've kind of done my due diligence and vetting that, yeah, they're legit. They've been around for years. They're not just frivolously using this money, and it's going to go into a scholarship fund, as I believe. But I'm actually going to meet with their interim executive director at the end of June. They had an executive director leave the school, and so they've got an interim director right now. I'm actually meeting that person for coffee at the end of June in San Francisco, because I'm going to be out there anyway. And so we're going to meet for coffee, and we're going to chat a little bit about the school and about what I do with Tech Interview Guide, because they're also looking for people to help with career prep and so on. So we may have some of their students drop by the stream from time to time, which would be amazing. And so that's what that group is going to be using that money for, is just helping pay for, like other folks to get into the tech industry, like finding some way, whether it's a scholarship or just, marketing material, whatever it is, to get those people into tech. That's really what I'm striving for here. So I'm hoping that the money's going to go into a scholarship fund. That's my hope. How they actually use it, I think, is going to be at their discretion. But my hope is it's going to go into a scholarship. Cool. Well, let's get to Boss Chopster's question, then we'll do this last giveaway. So we had a question in chat. Said, I had a question. I'm currently a freshman computer science student, and I've been having a hard time finding an internship. What should I look for? Should I apply to internships if I meet a portion of the qualifications? Yes. A job description is really like my birthday wish list of everything I hope to find in an employee. But I know as a hiring manager, I'm not going to find everybody with all of those qualifications. There will typically be like hard requirements, like you need to know a particular language, or you need to have some experience with data structures and algorithms, things along those lines. But I would say you don't have to meet all of those qualifications. If you're a freshman, I'm trying to remember American terminologies because I'm originally from Canada. Freshman means it's like your first year. Is that right? I'm trying to remember like freshman and senior, junior, and there's a fourth one. It's like freshman, something, junior, senior, if I remember right. So freshman, if you're in your first year, it's actually going to be difficult to get an internship because you're just learning. Unless you can show that you've worked on projects that are really going to entice them to show that you can actually get through their interview process, it is going to be hard to get an internship in your first year. Sophomore, thank you. So you're more likely to get an internship as a sophomore, far more likely to get one as a junior, and you'll absolutely get one as a senior because they can kind of look at the progression of what you're learning in your school. It's not impossible to get an internship as a first year student, but it is going to be much more difficult because you're only just scratching the surface of just getting into programming. If you're doing the internship to make some money and so on, it's a possibility. I would say you're probably going to have to work on a couple of projects to attract a company to your GitHub profile, or the kinds of projects that you've been building, or the kinds of things that you've been building, to really have that awareness of what you're capable of doing. So part of the downside to our interview process in the tech industry is you have to demonstrate what you can do. There's a demonstration portion of that, and whether that's part of the application or part of the process of doing a tech challenge or some sort of take-home assignment. And what they're probably doing is they're probably screening right now saying, well, you've just started school. You probably don't have like a large amount of depth of knowledge in any particular area yet. And so as an intern, they're going to have to evaluate, like, if we're paying you as an intern, well, they better be paying you as an intern. In some states, it's illegal not to pay you as an intern. But if they're paying you, they expect you to have some amount of skill, and that they're not just paying you to learn and train. So they're going to expect that you have some amount of skill that you can contribute to the team. And it could be that you don't quite have that depth of knowledge yet for what they need for those intern roles. So like I said, it's not impossible, but it is going to be more difficult to get. So I would say start, if you can, on the side, if you've got the time and the privilege, if you've got the ability to spend some time building out a couple of projects that will be attractive to the kinds of companies where you want to get an internship. I think you'll stand out a lot more than just, I'm brand new at this, but I still want an internship. A lot of companies are going to treat that internship as a learning opportunity anyway, but they still expect that you can contribute to some degree. And I think by building out a couple of projects and going a little bit deeper on some knowledge in some areas, I think will help stand out a little bit more. Most internships I've seen at work are between a junior to senior year or right out of school. Yeah. I would say if you're a new grad, I would also say like being a new grad, getting an internship as a new grad doesn't feel right either. Like you should just get a full-time job at that point. I mean, an internship may transition into a full-time role, but it does feel weird to like, I've graduated, but I'm still an intern. I kind of feel like internships should be for people that have not yet graduated. Once you graduated, they should just hire you as a junior engineer at that point. MacCat says 55 plus, and I'm working on my degree right now. Good for you. I have just over a year left for your degree in information tech from University of Phoenix. Good for you. That's awesome. I'm only a couple of years behind you. And I've actually thought about going back to school myself. I don't have a bachelor's degree in computer science either, but I've been in the industry for 26 years. At some point, they stop caring where you went to school, and just go apply for those jobs anyway. But yeah, I've considered going back to school to get a CS degree. Just work at it a little bit by a little bit, part-time, just to get into the newer technologies and see what people are kind of experiencing and help out with career prep and stuff like that with classmates and stuff like that. So I've considered it, but it is a huge expense. Universities are just charging ridiculous amounts of money for degrees these days. Blacksmith Pop says, my current manager was our intern 3 or 4 years ago. The company hired him as a business analyst. Now he's a manager at 24, 25 years old. Yep, that's cool. Boss Chopster says, I'm mostly into game programming rather than general software development, but I've been learning more about C++ currently. I mean, yeah, the gaming industry is really hard to break into, even as a graduate, even with a lot of good projects. The gaming industry is extremely competitive to get into as a career choice. And so I will tell you from experience, the gaming industry pays less money when you start out. They pay you less money. You end up doing a lot of grunt work, like where you're building like more supporting features than like actual like, oh, you're gonna go build out this whole new class of weapon or something in the game. It's more like, oh, we need to like mitigate how this action counteracts this other action, kind of thing. And so you're working on more game mechanics than actual like full game features. So you tend to make less money. You tend to work more hours because it's very competitive. Because if you don't want that job, there's like thousands and thousands of other people that want a job in a gaming company. You really don't start making money unless you happen to luck into working on like a really big name title or a game that like takes off and goes viral. You're not very likely to really make it huge in the gaming industry. It can also be like that in the regular tech industry. Like unless you happen to get a job with like a FANG company, a lot of people think like, oh, I have to get a job at a FANG company to stand out. You don't have to. I've never worked at a FANG company and I get hired. So it's really how you show that value to a company and what immediate value you're bringing to them. That's what's really going to make you stand out there. Aaron F. Geared, good to see you in chat. Thanks for dropping by. So last chance, let's do one more exclamation dragon. If you scroll down a little bit in the about, you'll see some dragon stickers for free. Won't cost you any bits. Let's see some hype in chat. Let's see some dragon stickers fly up around the screen. I dare you, I double dare you to like cover my face in dragon stickers, and then we'll do a dragon giveaway. We have 35 viewers in chat. We have 17 people, so we're still hovering around that 50% range. So do exclamation point dragon in chat right now. Get in that giveaway. If you've already gotten a dragon from me, you can re-enter. You just have to give me another address of where you want me to send the thing. These are literally going around the world Marble Dragon win. Yeah, some of those hashtags may or may not work. I will not verify or deny that there are cheat codes in my giveaway bot. There are not. But you can still do !dragon. Get in that giveaway. Dragon. And yeah, we're gonna do a giveaway, and you'll get to choose the style of dragon that you like, and then depending on the style of dragon, you'll get a choice of color. And then I've got these little mini dragons that I'll be putting in the box as well. Get these little mini dragons as well. You'll get a couple of these in the box, and again, these are shipping worldwide at no expense to you whatsoever. I'm happy just to help people out and provide my ideas and perspectives here on the channel. That's a lot of dragon stickers. It's great. Dragging the screen again. Yeah, all right. Cool. Let's so we got a couple more entries. So get in there. If you aren't sure whether you're already in there, do Bang Dragon anyway. It'll only give you one ticket. Bang win. Oh, you figured out the super secret cheat code. Blacksmith Pop says I'm not entering again. Blacksmith Pop has been the recipient twice. So you can re-enter. If you re-enter and you are drawn as the recipient, you have the choice of giving it away to someone else in chat, which folks have done, or you can just give me an alternate name and address of where you would like me to send the dragon, and they are going around the world. So give me any name and address that you like, and I will send that over. I think we're pretty much ready to go. Oh, Bang Win LOL. That was the super secret cheat code. That gives bets one ticket. They're already in there one time. Observe, good to see you in chat as well. So yep, last chance. We got, let's see how many folks we got in the giveaway here. All right, we're up to 21 entries. Can we get it to 25? If we get to 25 entries, we'll do the up, down, left, right. All right, Squirrel Master just got like 1,000 entries into the giveaway. So yeah, y'all are gonna have to do Bang Dragon now just to balance that out. Let's see if we can get to 25 entries. So we need 4 more people to enter, and then we'll do that giveaway. So go call some friends over. Raiders that came over with Free Heathen, feel free to do Bang Dragon. If you're already in the giveaway, it'll only give you one ticket. So you don't have to worry about like trying to re-enter just in case you're not sure. Just go ahead and do Bang Dragon anyway. And if you are the recipient, you will need to be in chat because I need 2 pieces of information from you. I need to know what style of dragon you want, what color you want, based on what I've got printed. Again, if you would like to donate for a dragon, you can do Bang PayPal, or you can go over to the Tech Interview Guide website. There's a Buy Me a Coffee link on there, and I will custom print you one of these Magaibir dragons in any color that you like for a donation of over $10. All that money is going into a diversity in tech fundraiser, and I am matching those dollars. And I'm meeting that group at the end of June, hopefully to put that money into a scholarship. So. And if you do Bang Dragons plural, you'll see a photo album of all the colors that you can choose if you do the donation. And I sincerely appreciate that. So subs, gift subs, bits, donations through Twitch, all that kind of stuff, all that money's going into that pot. So I'm not keeping a single penny from any of the streaming. So you really hope you win that misprint. Yeah. You never know. You never know. All right, I think we'll just go ahead and do the giveaway. I've been streaming for like 2.5 hours now. And so yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and we'll do the giveaway here. So, pew pew. All right, here we go. I'm going to close the giveaway. The giveaway is now closed. And we're going to do a giveaway with the drum roll. Just kidding. I just wanted to get y'all excited, get you hyped up. We're going to draw a recipient, and again, if you are not the recipient this time, come back Tuesday, because every other dragon that I got left is being given away Tuesday. So there's going to be at least half a dozen of these things given away on Tuesday. So stick around. We're going to give out a whole bunch more. So if you're not the recipient right now, fret not. I will be giving more of these away. So appreciate all the dragon stickers. Thanks for that. Thanks for spamming those. Whip, good to see you in chat as always. All right, let's do a giveaway, and that giveaway winner is Boss Chopster. Boss Chopster had a 1 in 21 chance, and we're doing a double dragon giveaway here. So Observed and Boss Chopster, you are both recipients of the dragon giveaway. So for both of you, you will need to send me a message in chat. So Observed and Boss Chopster, you have the choice between Imperial Dragon, which is this style of dragon, or regular dragon, because it's hard to type Magaibir. So you can say regular dragon or Imperial Dragon, and then from there, you're going to get to choose a color based on what I have available. That's how you do it. That's right. So, Boss, Chopster, and the other one was Observed. So for both of you, I need to know what style of dragon you want. So regular dragon or Imperial Dragon. So let's start, we'll do it alphabetically. So Boss Chopster, you have the choice. So Observed wants Imperial. So Boss Chopster, let me know which style of dragon you would like. You like the regular one. Okay, so you would like the regular dragon. So let's start with Boss Chopster. I'm going to show you the different colors that we have available, and then you'll get to choose the color. I have way more of these regular dragons already printed. So the Tuesday giveaway is going to be mostly the Magaibir dragons, but some of these filaments are pretty outstanding. Not going to lie. We have a regular rainbow color filament. So this went from blue to yellow to kind of a gold. It just started turning red at the top of his horns here. And the regular dragon is 23 inches long. We have the two-tone blue that we saw earlier. So I hope you're keeping track here, because I got like 7 or 8 of these to go. I've got a red and gold transition filament. So it started on gold, went to red, went back to gold. This one is a Filamentum Elixir Dragon. It's a very dark blue with a nice light green sparkle in it. It doesn't show up very well on camera, but I'll try to get some photos in the photo album of this one. But it's a very dark blue with a green sparkle in it. I have the 3-tone one that I showed earlier. So it started on gold, went to red, went to black, and started going back to gold. I have the Silk Magenta, which is a bright pink in a nice silky, shiny sort of filament. Or I have the Marble. And the Marble one is basically, it's kind of a bright white, very pale gray, and you can see it's got a bit of a gray freckle in it. And so what I like about the two-tone color filaments and the stone filament is it's really hard to see the layer lines. It kind of blends in with that. You like all of them? Well, you get to choose one. So yeah, those are your choices. We got what did I show you? Like 8 different dragons? Something like that. So those are the only regular dragons I have at the moment. So those were your choices. So we got rainbow, we got two-tone blue, we got red gold, we got the blue with green sparkle, we got a 3-tone, we got pink, and we got marble. So those are your choices for the regular dragon. You like the third to last one. The third to last one was the 3-tone one. So this one went from gold to kind of a rust color to a charcoal, back to the rust. Is that the one you want? Let me know in chat if that's just to verify, and then we'll go on to Observed and show off the Imperial ones. So let me know for sure if that's the one that you meant, Boss Chopster. And again, I'm going to be including some of these filaments as well. So this one is a temperature changing filament. Yep, that one. Okay. It's hard to tell. I'll hold it in my hand for a minute. So Observed. So your choice, Observed, was the Imperial Dragon. So I have one more rainbow glitter one that's being printed right now. And so it's going to look similar to this one. It won't be exactly like this one, but it will be these dark color tones, and there is a sparkle to that. So you can go check out my Twitter feed. I posted some pictures of this one. You can see a little bit of the sparkle in his head. I think you'll see a little bit more on his chin here. So it's got a really nice kind of sparkle in the filament. I've got another one of these printing. It's going to be done in a couple of hours. I've also got a dark gold color, which is a really nice, like for this dragon, this dark gold is really cool. So again, the Imperial Dragon kind of sits up on his own. The person that designed the model designed it in a way where all the horns kind of lock on the back, and it will actually stand itself up. So this dark gold like came out really, really great for that style. Those are the only two I've got printed right now. I am printing one in the temperature changing filament, and so just holding that in my hand, you can see it turn pink. So the back part of it where I wasn't holding it as tightly is still green, and when it's hot, it's like bright yellow. So if you go check out MakerDeck right now, you'll see it cycling through my cameras, and in one of them right now, it's like bright yellow on the print bed, and then it's kind of going into the rose orange kind of color where it's starting to cool down. And once it finishes printing and I take it off, it's going to be this dark gray. Sorry, it'd be this dark gray color. So I'm going to put a couple of these little figurines in some of those boxes as well. And I've got those in a couple of different colors, and I'll be adding those to the boxes. So observed, those are going to be your choices. So you have the rainbow one that's almost done. You've got the temperature changing one. I've got a dark blue sparkle. That one's going to be done like probably late tonight. Or I've got the dark gold. So those would be your choices on the Imperial one. Yeah, those are the only ones I've got left. You're going to go with the rainbow one. Cool. All right. So I will add that one as well. So Imperial Rainbow, and Boss Chopster wanted the regular 3-tone. Awesome. Cool. Well, that was fun. So we gave away 5 dragons today, and all the rest of the dragons that I have. So I'm going to continue printing these, and I'm going to give all the rest of these away on Tuesday. So the last dragons that I print will start printing tomorrow, so that they're all finished by the giveaway. So as of Tuesday, I won't be printing any new dragons other than the ones that people have donated for that want a custom color. So yeah, come back Tuesday. We'll be giving away all the rest of these. So it's going to be like, go hype it up, tell your friends, come by, drop by, and everybody that's in chat, like I want everybody there to do !dragon, and we're just going to keep giving them away until they're all gone. I've also got really big versions of the mini dragon. So this one's probably my favorite. It's that translucent gray that sparkles green in the dark. This one lives on a shelf, and it looks really, really amazing. But if you really, really want, this might be part of the giveaway. I also have the 3-tone filament that goes from charcoal to gold. It just started transitioning to the burgundy on the top of his horns, but it's still mostly gold. So I have a couple of these in like really big supersize. I also printed one slightly smaller in that marble filament, which looks really great from a stone marble kind of bust sort of view. So these may be part of the giveaway if there's enough hype on Tuesday. We'll see whether those get into the giveaway as well. But otherwise, yeah, we'll see you back on Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out today. This video is going to go up on YouTube in a little bit. 2.5 hours is a pretty good stream. Appreciate all the chats. Appreciate the hypes and the stickers. All that was really great. So if you are, sorry, for Boss Chopster and Observed, I need you to send me a Twitch whisper with your full name and mailing address of where you want me to send these. If you're domestic in the United States, I'm going to try to get them out by midweek. You should get them by the weekend or early next week. If you are overseas or in a different country, it'll take a little while to get there. But I am sending these around the world, so send me those addresses and I will get them boxed up. You'll get a little 6-inch square box. Yeah, we'll get those sent out to you right away. So thanks for dropping by, everybody. Bets, yeah, you can send me a message anytime. Thanks for hanging out today, and thanks for all the chats. Let's go find somebody to raid. Let's go see who's online. Let's go see if we can raid somebody. Bernacules. So Learn with Leon is online. So if for those that were asking about how to learn how to code, go check out Learn with Leon. Your nerdy girl. David Turner Music is online. How many folks doing coding today? Any Askey's online doing some code. I kind of want to raid into Bernacules. But his channel is not family friendly, so I like to try to keep my, my stuff family friendly where possible. But let me go check out Any Askey. Let's see what they're up to today. So hang out for a sec. We'll go right over into another channel. Or if anybody else has, hey Polybius, yeah, you missed it. You missed the whole thing. You missed the giveaway. You missed all the fun. We gave away 5 3D printed dragons today. And we're going to give away a ton more on Tuesday. So come back Tuesday for sure. Let's go see what Any Askey is up to. So Bernacules looks like he's hosting a whole bunch of people chatting and looking at modeling and stuff like that. see, any ASCII. So if anybody else has suggestions on who to go raid, I'm happy to take suggestions too. Yeah, we do have a computer science person. Oh, Learn with Leon just raided over to her channel with 1,000 people. I missed it by that much. I could have hung out and had Leon raid over here. 1,000 people suddenly raiding over there. That's ridiculous. Cool. Eliza Teru. Not sure how to pronounce your name, but I appreciate the follow. Thanks for that. All right, well, maybe we won't go raid into any ASCII because they just got bombarded. If anybody else has suggestions of who to go raid, let me know. Midnight Smith, everyone I know is off today. Yeah. Let's go see. There are other people doing coding. I like to raid over to people that are doing coding. Any suggestions on who to go raid? Let's see. There's got to be some other developers on here. Oh, there's someone else doing some job advice. Yeah, let's go raid. Let's go raid this one. All right, we're going to go raid over here. They're also doing interview prep and so on, so we'll go raid over to there. Looks like they're doing a resume review right now, so let's go hang out over there. Make some noise in their chat when we get over there, and we'll see folks over there in just a minute. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. We'll see you on Tuesday.